Gary Gallahan is suing his daughter, 22-year-old Rachel Gallahan, and her fiancé, Oliver Ross, for a loan to buy a carpet cleaning van.
Mr. Gallahan, this is your daughter, and this is her boyfriend, fiancé, whatever it is. They have children together?
Correct.
But they're not married, but they live together?
Yes, ma'am.
In any event, according to you, you made a loan to them in order for them to start a carpet cleaning business. You made a loan to them to get a van, because take your hands out of your pockets.
Yes, ma'am.
This is what they needed in order to start their business. You made the loan, they didn't pay, you want your money.
Yes, ma'am.
So let's find out certain things. When did you accept this money from your father?
It was the beginning of December 2008.
And tell me the circumstance surrounding your accepting this money from your father.
We had worked for a company, he had worked for a company, and I worked with the gentleman as a secretary, and the one company that he had started with doing carpet cleaning, they were leaving to Arkansas, and we really didn't want to have to leave and be relocated with our family. So I went to my father and asked him to give me money so that
No, that's not what you said to him. Let's go back a second. You went to your father and you said what?
That I need money to get a carpet cleaning van.
What did your father say to you?
That he would do it.
He would do what?
Give me the money.
No. Lend.
I don't believe that you went to him and said, give me money. That's not what you would do. None of my children would ever come to me, and I have enough to do it, but they wouldn't come to me and say, I want you to give me money to buy a car. None of my children would ever do that. They would come to me and say, Mom, I'm in need of some money. Could I borrow some money from you? Hoping that I might say to them, tell me what you need the money for, and if it's for a good reason, I'll give it to you. Does that sound right to you, Bird?
That's absolutely right.
Do you understand what I mean?
Yes, yeah.
All right. So now let's you and I understand each other.
Yes.
That certain things are common sense, unless you're a psychotic or a miserable person. Now, you're neither psychotic nor a miserable person, are you?
No.
So you would never go to your father and say, I need to buy a truck, I want you to give me money, right?
Correct.
So then why don't we start all over again like this never happened? You went to your father and said,
Can I borrow money for a carpet cleaning van?
Right. And what did he say to you?
That yes, he would get a loan and he would give me the money.
And what did you say to him?
Thank you.
And how did you make arrangements to pay him?
We never officially...
Don't look over there. Look over here. I'm not talking about officially with the Queen's stamp ring on anything. How was he supposed to repay the loan that he was taking out? He wasn't going into his savings. He was taking out a loan.
Yes.
How were you supposed to put your hand down? I'm not asking you a thing. He's not your father. How are you supposed to pay back this loan?
Yes, clearly in monthly payments, but I never took it into that consent that I was actually going to...
That's hardly English, what you just said to me.
Never thought it completely through, I guess, when I did it.
Well, then that's not my problem that you never thought it completely through. And Loverboy wasn't there. Is that right?
Correct. I went to my father's by myself.
That's right. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, ma'am. We agreed to $300 a month.
When did you agree to $300 a month?
I think I gave him the check on December 4th, sometime shortly after that.
Okay. And did they make any payments towards the loan?
They made $100 or $200, that's about it.
And when did they stop?
Oh, God.
When did she stop? Because right now, he has nothing to do with this loan. He's just standing there and looking miserable.
Probably shortly after January, February, I'm not sure. Because on February, then, she wrote me 3 different checks to cash it separate times. You want to see also the check that I took out, the $9,000?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. She said that she wrote me 3 different checks to help make up for the payments in February there, you see. And I took it to the bank, and there was no funds in the bank account at all.
Truthfully, I did that so he would leave me alone. So I took out money from one account to another. I have 2 accounts, so I...
He was making threatening.
Yeah.
He was making threats to us daily.
I was not
Coming to
making
my
threats.
He did make threats on my telephone that he hoped that the kids were going to end up in an orphanage when he was going to come tow the truck away that was in my name.
I did say to her.
Sure, just a second.
And
Just a second.
Yes, ma'am.
Why didn't you pay him his money?
I didn't know that.
Why didn't you pay him his money?
I didn't know there was agreement to pay it back.
You're full of baloney. You're full of baloney. You think that he gave it to you because he just thinks you're a nice guy? He doesn't have that kind of money, clearly. He had to take out a loan to get it. Why didn't you pay him back his money?
That's one reason I did give him the 100, because I was
Why didn't you pay him back his money?
Well, I didn't have $9,000 to give back to him.
He wasn't asking you for $9,000. He was asking you for payments.
Sure. Well, he never asked me. I never talked to him. I don't talk to them. They talk to Rachel.
Well,
but from what I know, I'm normally...
Then, listen to me.
Yes, ma'am.
Were you earning any money carpet cleaning with the van that he bought?
Yes, ma'am.
So you were making money, and you were feeding yourself?
So I could work. Yes, ma'am.
You were putting a roof over your head?
Yes, ma'am.
Forget her. Forget
Sure.
the children. This is his daughter. You are nothing. Then you have to pay him back. You have to pay your father back.
If he had ever come to me strictly and said, you know, there's an agreement to pay, but we had never arranged the agreement together.
Then your girlfriend, and I'm not even saying why, your girlfriend lied to you. Now, is there any reason why you and the lovely Miss Gulahan have not married? Yeah, there are a couple of reasons.
Probably my fault.
There are a couple of reasons, okay? When you were without funds,
Sure.
was there any state money coming into your house? My question is a simple one. When you were without jobs, was there any state money coming into your house?
When we were first together, yes, ma'am.
When the children were born?
Yes, ma'am. I stopped that pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Very temporarily.
Did you ever pay back the state?
They never
Did the
asked.
state know you were living together?
Yes.
Oh, I doubt that. You owe your father this money, madam. He doesn't owe him anything because the contract was made with you.
Is there a contract?
Yes, there is a contract.
Where? In all due
Right
respect.
here.
Okay.
Right
okay.
here.
Okay.
In my mouth. There's an offer
right.
and an acceptance. And there was consideration paid. The consideration was he took out a loan. The agreement was your girlfriend, the mother of your children, would pay back the loan monthly. That was the contract. It was an oral contract. That's why we're here. If it was a written contract, it would be much easier, and I wouldn't have a television program that makes me highly successful. Do we understand each other, sir?
Yes,
Huh?
yes, ma'am.
Very good. Unfortunately for you, sir, the maximum that this court allows me to award you is the $5,000
Yes, ma'am, I
maximum
understand
limit
that.
of the court. You are owed a lot more than that. I hope that your daughter does the right thing and doesn't become a bum if she doesn't pay you back the rest of the money. That's exactly what she is. Do you understand?
Yes, I would
Do you?
just.
Good.
Most
Thank you
fathers
very
take
much.
you to
That's
college.
all.
Sarah Ali says she was punched in the face at Dan Dugan's nightclub. Sarah says the culprit was one of Dan's bouncers.
Miss Ali, it is your claim that you and a boyfriend were at defendant's club and you were, without provocation, assaulted by an employee of his. And the defendant's position is that you were intoxicated and that any injuries that you sustained as a result of your own intoxication. Is that right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. When,
On May 9th of this year,
how old are you?
I'm 21.
And what do you do?
I go to school and I do customer service.
What school do you go to?
OSU.
What is
Ohio
that?
State.
You a full-time student?
Part-time.
And you work part-time or full-time?
Part-time.
Who's your boyfriend? Is he here?
He's right there.
How old is he?
He's 22.
Does he go to school also?
Yes.
Now, on the 9th of May, who were you at this club with?
I was with him.
Just the
with my
two of you?
boyfriend. Just two of us.
Had you been to this club before?
I've been there once before.
What time did you arrive there?
I arrived there about 11:40.
Where had you been before that evening?
Before that evening, I've been to the movies.
With your boyfriend?
Yes.
And from the movies, you went to the club?
Yes.
Tell me what happened.
Okay, at the time when we got there, we were just having fun, just around there, and then it got about 2 o'clock. It was time for everybody to go home. And we were about to leave, and then one of the security guards, he was gonna open the back door for us to leave, and all of a sudden I heard another security guard yelling behind us. He came and he said, "I know you two heard me calling you back there. Why are you ignoring me?" And my boyfriend nicely said that, "I'm sorry we didn't hear you, but we are leaving right now." And then he said, "No, you can't go because I know you were ignoring me and you need to tell me why you were ignoring me." And then he grabbed my arm. And when he grabbed my arm, I yanked my arm off him and told him, "Please don't ever touch me again." And as soon as I said that, he must have got mad and he grabbed both of us and just pushed us against the wall real hard.
Shh, don't say anything.
When he pushes against the wall real hard, like it hurt my back. And then all of a sudden it happened so fast that he hit me and I must have dropped because I don't remember exactly what happened. I heard noises, but I couldn't see. I remember my boyfriend grabbing me. When he grabbed me, we were pushed out from the back door. And then we heard all noises, and I heard my boyfriend call the police and the ambulance for me. And then when the cops arrived, he asked us what happened. And when my boyfriend tried...
Can I see the police report?
Sure.
Is the security guard still in your employ?
No, ma'am, he's not.
What's his name?
I know him as Big Ant.
Big Ant?
Yes.
How long did he work for you?
It's perhaps a year or so.
Well, Mr. Dugan, you pay your employees on the books?
Sometimes.
Did you pay Big Ant on the books or off the books? Look at me.
Yes, ma'am.
On the books or off the books?
He was paid cash at the end of every night. I do not know if he reported it.
Well, I'm just asking you because if you paid him on the books, then you'd have to have a name other than Big Ant.
Yes, ma'am.
You thought this was going to be easy?
No, ma'am.
It's not going to be easy
Yes, ma'am.
because you weren't there that night
No, I wasn't.
and you don't know what happened. Hopefully,
I was home with my pregnant wife, who was
Hope-
2 weeks away from giving birth, ma'am.
listen, they're good for you.
Thank you.
And I hope everything turned out okay. But right now you have this gentleman who I assume wants to tell me what he saw because he was there that night. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
You'll be up there in a second. I want you to make sure you got it all straight in your head. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any other reports that you have?
No, ma'am. I have some pictures of the incident that
I would like
happened
to
to
see
my
them.
eye.
You were treated at the hospital for
For my eye.
eye. You had a laceration under your eye. According to the police, somebody socked you in the eye.
Right.
Is that the only injury that you sustained?
Yes.
Jones.
On what date did Big Ant terminate your employ?
As of that night, not heard from him since.
When you say as of that night, is that because he didn't return to work on the 10th? Or because you told him not to return to work on the 10th?
He left before the police arrived, or when the police arrived.
And you know that from this gentleman?
He and other employees.
Why did Big Ant take off?
I have no idea, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Jones, how long have you been in Mr. Dugan's employ?
On and off for about 5 years.
In what capacity?
I work with the bands that work there on a particular night, specifically Sunday nights.
What do you mean you work with the bands?
I'm also a member of the band also.
How many hours were you working that night?
I usually arrive at the club early, about 8 o'clock, and then the band usually starts performing anywhere between 10:30 and 11 o'clock at night.
When you're playing with the band, do you have any alcohol?
No, I don't drink at all.
Tell me what you observed on the 9th of May.
At around 2:15, we're between 2:15 and 2:30, we asked that security start having people leave the bar because by law, everybody has to be out of the bar by 2:30. Also, what happens is the bar staff will not count any money until all the patrons are out of the bar. Well, they were walking the other direction.
They were walking in what direction?
Toward the side door, which is basically like an emergency exit. Big Ant is telling them, hey, you got to go out. We have to leave now. You have to go this way. Well, he said it 5 or 6 times. By the time he gets up to them, they get together. Some words were exchanged. I don't know exactly what was said, but all I know is I seen a hand come up, which looked like a female hand. He was scratched, and there was a ruckus in between her and her boyfriend and Big Ant. And it wasn't a punch, it was more or less like an open hand smack like that. But he's a big guy, so it may have caused some damage. But it looked like she attacked him first.
Well,
That's a lie.
No, that's
you
not
didn't,
true, Your
but
Honor.
shh, Mr. Jones, you didn't actually see that.
Yes, I did. From where I was standing, what I could see, yeah.
Where you were standing, what you can see. Now, you're equivocating. The one thing you didn't equivocate about was you saw Big Ant hit her. It looked like with an open hand somewhere around her face. That you said you saw.
Yes.
Well, an open hand doesn't cause this kind of damage. Okay, let's go back to what you saw at the beginning. You said that you saw what appeared to be a female hand. Is that what you told me?
Yeah, going up like this, coming down at him.
Well, how many females were standing there, Mr. Jones?
It was only one.
So describe what a female hand looks like, Mr. Jones.
Well, I mean, a female hand is not nearly as big as a man's hand in most cases, is what I think. I could be
So
wrong.
there were 3 people there.
Right.
Is that right? Big Ant, this young lady, and her boyfriend.
Right.
So when you say to me, I saw what appeared to be a female hand, of necessity, it would have to be the plaintiff. unless her boyfriend has feminine hands. Is that right, Mr. Jones?
Could be, could not be.
Well, I mean, by a process of elimination, if there are 3 people standing there, unless, according to you, Big Ant scratched himself, sir, it would have to be one of the other 2 people.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
I'm having too much fun. Now, did you wait around for the police to arrive, sir?
Yes, ma'am, I was still there.
Did you observe the ambulance?
I seen the ambulance pull up, yes.
So you knew that the police were treating this as a serious incident?
Yes.
Is that right?
Well, if they were called, yes.
And if they were treating this as a serious incident, clearly they were treating this young lady as the victim.
Right.
And certainly, based upon what you told me, you observed that this young lady was the aggressor in this incident. Is that right?
Yes, they both were.
No, 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 you didn't say both. I said who was the aggressor. Based upon what you told me, she was the aggressor. Is that right? Mm-hmm. And you would want to be a good citizen. You are a good citizen, aren't you, Mr. Jones?
Yes, Your Honor.
Could you explain to me how the police report is silent with regard to your statement to the police that she was the aggressor and scratched him?
No policeman ever came and talked to me.
Well, do you think that the police have some sort of crystal ball? If you have information that this employee of the club that you know for a year was the real victim, and there were a lot of people there, you think it's a good idea to go up to the police and say, listen, I saw the whole thing. Mm-hmm. She scratched him first. Look at his face. Well, the police report doesn't say anything about Big Ant having any scratches on his face.
Well, he wasn't there to make a report.
Even more of a reason for someone who witnessed the whole process to go up to the police and say, listen, the guy took off, but he was really not responsible. She was responsible. She assaulted him. Isn't that right, Mr. Jones?
Yeah.
Sit down.
Can I make one statement?
Anything else you want to say to me, Mr. Dugan?
I don't think so, Your
Good. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount requested, $3,000. That's all.
19-year-old Preston Wamsley is suing neighbor Audrey Martinez and her son, 17-year-old Chris Rivera, for the cost of a Mitsubishi Eclipse. Preston claims Chris totaled the vehicle.
You and the defendants are neighbors. This is
Christopher Rivera.
17.
Yes.
And this is your mother. At some point, Christopher came to your house and asked if he could borrow your car. You knew he was 17. Mm-hmm. Now, is not an answer in court. Is fine outside here. You
yes,
say yes, no, whatever. Your Honor is a nice touch. He said he needed your car so he could take his sister to school.
Yes.
But that was a partial truth. You know what that means?
I'm not sure.
It means it was only partially true, half true. A little piece of it was true. Some of it was a lie. You didn't just want to take your sister to school. You did something else with the car, right?
Yes.
What else did you do with the car?
I gave my cousin a ride home.
And after you gave your cousin a ride home, then what else did you do with the car?
And I let April drive it.
Who's April?
Some girl.
Was she in the car?
Yes.
I didn't get that part of the story. How did April get into the car?
Because she was with my cousin.
How old is April?
17, I believe.
I want you to keep your voice up. You don't mind my yelling at him, do you?
No, ma'am.
Yes. And April wrecked the car.
Yes.
So, Mr. Wamsley, you expect Mrs. Martinez to pay for your car.
Yeah, and I was under the impression that he had a license.
I don't care whether you thought he had a license to drive race cars or drive a ship to the moon. You have no right to loan a car to a minor. None. Now, I read your complaint and you said, well, you thought he had a license because you saw him driving around in his mother's car.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Well, his mother wants to be a jerk and let him drive around in her car. That's her prerogative and her problem. But how do you know that his mother gave him permission to drive around in her car? Maybe he was just driving around in it when she wasn't home. Is that possible?
It could be, yes.
Sure. Does your son have a driver's license?
No, ma'am.
You ever give him permission to drive your car?
No.
You drive your mother's car?
Yes.
Where's your mother when you drive her car?
At home.
Does she know you drive her car?
No.
See what I mean? As a matter of fact, if he was injured while in your car that you let him borrow, she would sue you and would have collected. Do you understand? When you're dealing with a minor, and he's a minor, he's a stupid minor, and he's dishonest, right?
Yes.
You do not do anything that would require parental permission, because when you talk in terms of minors, they are referred to as minors in the law because they're too stupid to make their own judgments. He's too stupid to make his own judgment. And you gave him a weapon. Was April hurt?
No, ma'am.
Anybody hurt?
No, ma'am.
You are a very lucky man, sir. You should go home and thank your lucky stars that somebody isn't suing you and taking your house away. Your case is dismissed.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Monica Roth says former friend Justin Judy backed her car into another vehicle. Justin claims it was a drunken Monica who was behind the wheel.
Miss Roth, it is your claim that you were at a party, the defendant was at a party. He moved your car, he did so without asking you, and he dented it. The defendant says that it was you who were drunk, moved your own car, and dented it yourself. That's your defense, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Was this party at your house?
Yes, it was, ma'am.
How many people did you have at the party?
20, 25.
How old are you?
I'm 20, going on 22, 21 right now.
Well, hopefully if I let you, you'll be 22. Right now you're 21. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Who do you live with?
I live with my witness here and another person.
So you have two roommates?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm in construction.
What night of the week was this?
I think it was a Friday night or, yeah, Friday night.
Okay. And did you know Miss Roth before your party?
Yes, I did.
All right, Miss Roth, were you present when the defendant got into your car?
No, I was not. I was inside.
Who was?
My witness, Tita, was in the car.
Tell me your name.
Tita Chewin.
Miss Chewin, did you know the defendant prior to this evening?
Yes, Your Honor.
Was there drinking at the party?
Yes.
Any drugs at the party?
No.
None that you saw?
Not that I saw.
But drinking?
Yes.
All right, tell me what happened with the car.
We went outside to...
Who's we?
The three of us. We went outside to grab CDs, and it was a summer night, so we had tank tops on and skirts, and we wanted to grab shirts to put over. So we went out to the car, she grabbed her CDs, I grabbed my shirt, I put it on, she went back inside the house, and she left the keys for me. So I was in the passenger seat getting ready to leave, and he claims the truck in front of him needed to be moved, so he hopped in, and I told him, Monica...
Okay, he said that the car that you were in had to be moved?
Yes.
Okay.
The car was on accessories, but the engine wasn't on. He started it and...
Don't speak.
He started it and slammed on the gas without even looking behind him. And before he started the car, I told him, Monica would not want you driving her car. It's brand new. She doesn't even let us drive her car. I've known her since elementary school. We're really close. And he just slammed on the gas without even looking behind him, and I told him, don't you want to look behind you? And next thing I know, there's a big crash, and he jumps out of the car.
Did he say anything to you?
No, he just jumped out.
Did he put the car in park and jump out? Did he turn it off?
He pulled it up really quick so she wouldn't know, and then jumped out of the car.
So first he went backwards.
Yep, and then he pulled it up.
So he changed gears.
Yes.
I just want you to go step by step with me. So let's go step by step. First, it was in reverse.
Yep, and he slammed on the gas, hit the car, was like startled, and then he pulled it up back to where she had been parked, so it looked like her car wasn't moved, and hopped out of the car really quick.
And didn't say anything to you?
No.
So what did you do?
I was in shock, and then she came in, ran up to the window because she was across the street.
Tell me your name.
Keely Hartman.
Miss Hartman, did you witness this?
I just heard a crash. I didn't see it actually happen.
But you heard the sound?
I heard the sound.
Did you see the defendant?
I saw someone running away from the car, and that's when I ran over immediately because I saw it was Monica's car.
But you didn't see who it was?
I didn't.
Didn't see a face, or you didn't see whether it was a man, woman?
I saw a shadow running from the car.
Okay. Did the defendant say anything to you when you went back inside?
I peeked inside the window of the driver's side door, and I saw her in the passenger seat, and I looked and I saw nobody in the driver's seat, and I go, where's Monica? And Tita said she's in the house. That's when I looked over and I saw Justin crouching over by the bumper, and he said to me, don't tell her it's not a big deal, it's not even noticeable. And that's when I ran inside and grabbed Monica.
Okay, so he said to you, don't tell her it's not a big deal, it's not even noticeable.
Yes.
How long have you known the defendant?
A couple years.
Have had any problem with him?
No.
You like him?
Do I like him?
Yeah, I mean, like him as a person. He's okay, isn't he?
Yeah.
What about you?
Before this incident, I thought he was great.
Thought he was great. Never had any problem with him. Thank you. You can be seated.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's your turn. Did you get a turn?
All those girls are lying.
Stop! Listen to me. Listen to me very, very carefully, sir. I make a judgment as to who's lying.
Okay.
You have the opportunity, if you wish, to explain to me your version of the events that evening.
Okay.
I assume you brought this gentleman because he has something to contribute to this case.
Yes, I did, ma'am.
Your name is?
James.
James, you have a last name.
Johnson.
How old are you?
22.
Do you have parents?
Yes.
Do they like you?
Sometimes.
I want you to think about them when making a decision to testify, James.
Yes.
Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yes.
Okay. Let me hear.
Okay, in my defense. July 9th, we were having these girls showed up to my house intoxicated. Had parked her car behind a truck of my friends, asked her to move it. She moved it, backed into the car that was behind her, which was the black one.
And you saw all this?
Yeah, I was out in the street telling everybody was about ready to leave. The whole part, you know.
And you
like,
saw all of this?
Yeah, I saw the whole thing.
Go ahead.
I was in the street talking to a bunch of friends, and you know, that happened, that transpired. And then she decided to leave belligerently, circle the block, and then come back, screaming, raving, whatever. She was intoxicated and all that stuff.
So you had a party at your house. Did you serve alcohol,
No,
or did the
not to
people
them.
bring out? Shh. Did you serve alcohol, or did the people bring alcohol?
They brought their own.
You just provided the site.
Yes, I just presided the area for people to party. But everybody at my house was 21, minus these 3 girls.
You mean I just happened to be fortunate enough to pick the 3 girls who were underage at your house?
Yes, ma'am. But they were intoxicated before they showed up to my house.
You want to speak?
Sure.
Who do you live with?
Justin, Judy, and another roommate.
So you lived together. And how long have you lived together?
For about 1.5 years.
You know these 3 girls?
I know them from being at my house that night. I'd never even known them before.
What time did the party start?
Between 9 and 10 o'clock.
When did you start drinking?
Between 9 and 10 o'clock.
What were you drinking?
Beer.
What time did these girls arrive?
I'm not totally sure on that. I actually did not see them arrive. I didn't see them arrive. I didn't know they were there until well after they were there.
And what time was that?
Between 10 and 11 o'clock.
So the party was only going on for an hour?
Possibly.
What do you mean possibly?
I'm not sure. It was.
How many beers did you have between 9 and 10 o'clock?
Couple.
Couple could be 2 or 5.
Between 2 and 5.
What kind of work do you do?
Construction.
You work for the same place?
No. I install windows in residential housing. He seals driveways.
Seals them. Doesn't steal them. He seals them.
Yes.
So now, I want you to tell me what you saw.
Okay, I was...
No!
Sorry. I was at the party, and I was walking out.
What time?
It was late. I don't know.
Give me an idea.
Probably between 12 and 1.
Okay, so between 12 and 1. So let's say between 9 and 10 you had between 2 and 5 beers.
Yes.
And I would assume that once you had between 2 and 5, you lost track.
Nah, I didn't finish my 12-pack.
How much was left over?
2 or 3.
So maybe you had 10 beers.
Yeah, probably.
So now tell me what happened after midnight.
Well, after I came outside, I had seen Monica get in the car, back up, and bump into the other car. And it wasn't that big of an accident, so nobody really made a big deal out of it. And I seen her get out of the car, have a little conversation with him, and then I seen her get back in the car and drive away. It didn't happen all that quick, but that's the sum of it. Yes.
You may be seated.
Thank you.
Don't you feel like a jerk? Let me see the estimate on the car, please. And picture of the car?
Yep.
What kind of a car did he hit?
Cougar. It was a black car, that's all.
Cougar?
I'm pretty sure it was a Mercury Cougar.
You know who it belonged to?
It was this kid, Jeremy. And he didn't even tell him that he hit his car.
But did you tell him?
He came out, and I think Keely or someone told him. I wasn't.
Who told the Cougar that his car got hit? Anybody?
I didn't. Well,
Nobody told him.
Shh.
I don't think I didn't tell him. He heard from the people inside that someone's car had been hit, so he ran outside and saw that it was his car and was furious with Justin.
Is the Cougar man a friend of yours?
Yes, he's a very good friend of mine, actually.
How come he's not here?
He's...
How come he's not here?
working.
Is he overseas? Is he fighting in the military?
No. He couldn't
Huh?
make it.
Couldn't make it.
No.
too bad for you. He's a very good friend of yours. Seemed to me a very good friend. Instead of bringing this one over here, I certainly would have brought the person whose car... I'm speaking. I would have brought the person whose car was hit to testify that they know that it wasn't you who hit their car, it was somebody else who hit their car. Put your hand down.
He's the only one that saw it, though. The guy who owned the car did not see
You see how
anything.
many witnesses they have here, too? See what you have on your side? Stop shaking your foot. It's making me nervous.
The guy whose car that she hit was not around and did not see it, did not know it happened until later in the night.
Your Honor, I have phone calls from Justin saying he will pay me the money and that he's so sorry that he did it, and he is doing everything he can to get me my money, and he just wants to pay cash and he doesn't want to go to court.
You have them here?
Yes, I have.
Oh, I'd like to
I can
hear
call
that.
my voicemail.
Oh, sure, I'd like to hear that.
Yeah, please. It's her phone. She's gonna. There's two of them.
Ooh, I love to be right.
You've pressed an incorrect key. To disconnect, press 1. To record your message, press 2. Sorry you were having trouble. Please try again.
It's okay.
Can I try one more time?
Yes, of course.
Thank you.
I have all the time in the world.
Sorry.
Oh, just a sec. Before you do that, before we connect, you want to say anything else to me, Justin?
Like what?
Like I may have made that
I did that to help her out because it was on my property.
I'm speaking. Is there anything else that you want to say to me before we try to connect with this phone call?
I've said what I've had to say.
All right.
You've got my defense statement, so I'm sticking with that. That's what it is.
Go.
First saved message sent Friday, August 20 a.m.
Monica, it's Justin. I got your text message. I'm not trying to avoid you. I've been busy working a lot. We're really busy right now. Plus, I have another job. I'm trying to work as much as possible to get you your money. I do want to work.
Shut
up! I don't want to take this shit to court. I'm not trying to avoid you. So, I don't know. I got to work till midnight tonight. Give me a call whenever.
And
I have one more.
Resave. Next message sent Friday, August 5th at 9:11 p.m.
Monica, I'm calling you again because I'm trying to set up some sort of payment plan with you because I've been working a lot. I have 2 jobs. Yeah, so call me back and let me know what's up. I don't want to take the court. I'd rather pay you in cash and get it dealt with. Call me back.
End.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $967.53. That is for the repair on the car, damage to the vehicle. If I could add another couple of thousand to that for just being 2 wise guys, I would. You're an embarrassment, and you're an embarrassment to yourself and your parents. That's all.
23-year-old Nick Foster is suing his ex-girlfriend's current boyfriend, 25-year-old Derek Green, for smashing his car windows with a pipe. Derek claims Nick tried to run him over.
Where's the girlfriend?
She didn't want to come. She couldn't make it because of work.
Didn't want to come sounds like a better answer.
Probably.
Mr. Foster, the defendant is your ex-girlfriend's current boyfriend?
At the time, yeah.
And according to your complaint, one evening, he was drunk and disorderly and damaged your car. Mr. Green says that he might have damaged your car, but that was because you tried to run him over. So why don't you tell me this story of intrigue?
Basically, my ex-girlfriend, who I've been together with on and off for 5 years now, she called me over about 4 o'clock in the morning.
Sure.
Had you been sleeping when she called?
Trying to, no.
What were you doing?
I was getting home from a night out.
Was this a Saturday night?
It was a Thursday night.
So you were just coming in at 4 o'clock in the morning?
No, I was home probably about 2 o'clock, but she called me at 4 o'clock.
And you figured this is too good to pass up? I'm going over.
Yep.
Had you been drinking?
Earlier that night, yes.
And what happened when you got to her house?
I stayed over there for about hour and a half, and decided to leave.
Who does she live with?
She lives with her mother and her father.
How did she get you into the house?
The front door.
What happened when you left?
Her father was awake, so I decided to go out the back door. That's where I saw the defendant passed out in the backyard.
What were you doing in the backyard passed out, Mr. Green?
I was passed out there because My girlfriend had left with my buddy's girlfriend to go to the store to get cigarettes. I passed out. I wake up. He's chasing my girlfriend around.
You're getting ahead of yourself, sir. I'm asking the questions. Where were you earlier in the evening of the 8th of September?
We were at the bar drinking, me and Jacqueline.
Jackie's the girlfriend?
Yes.
How did you get to her house?
Her car.
Who drove?
I did.
You drove the car drunk?
Yes.
And when you got there, she told you couldn't come in?
No, I was outside smoking a cigarette. I was not allowed to smoke in the house.
And you just fell asleep?
Yes.
Passed out?
Mm-hmm.
You were awakened at about what time?
Around 4 o'clock in the morning.
And tell me what you sort of remember.
So I remember seeing him chasing my girlfriend around the back patio. He ran out the back door and through the back gate.
So he went out the back door?
Yeah, after he had went in the back door.
He went out. No, you didn't see him go in.
I seen him
No,
running,
no,
chasing
you
my
know, listen to me.
All right.
Mr. Green, let's get it together, sir.
All right, I'm getting it together.
You didn't see him go in, correct?
Yeah.
But you saw him come out.
Yes.
You don't know what time he went in.
I don't really know what went on, to tell you the
When
truth.
you were in the house with your ex-girlfriend and the father woke up, was he angry?
He was upstairs.
What caused your girlfriend to leave the house?
I decided that I needed to leave. So she said, go out the back door. We could hear him walking upstairs. Upon doing that, that's when I noticed that he was outside. I asked her, what is he doing here? Why are you calling me at 4 o'clock in the morning if he's here? So I guess he heard us talking outside, came downside and told us all to leave.
You mean the father?
Yes.
When he said he told you all to leave, what did he say to you?
He said, everyone leave.
That was nice. I would have probably phrased it differently. So what did you do, Mr. Green?
I left.
Well, how did you come in contact with Mr. Foster's car?
After I had walked up the street, he come following me up the street. Me and him got into a fight.
How did you get into a fight? Explain
He got out of his car. He started running his mouth. Me and him got into a fight, started walking across the street. Then he got back into his car, come across the street, tried to run me over. I had to jump out of the way, and I threw a rock at his back window and busted his window out.
Why did you throw a rock at his back window?
It's an ongoing thing with him. It's, you know, he's been stalking us.
I'm asking you, what did the rock have to do with this altercation that you had?
He tried to run me over. He tried to kill me.
Go ahead, Mr. Foster.
What he said was correct to a point. Yes, we did get into car to run my mouth because he kicked us out of my car. His friends came over and separated us.
Where were your friends? What are all these people doing at 5 o'clock in the morning?
He woke him
They're
up.
not my friends.
We woke him up arguing, and they were right across the street.
How old are you?
I'm 23.
I'm 25.
It's not even the youth of America. Yes, go ahead. So,
Well, when you stand in the middle of the street as I'm trying to leave, yes, I guess you could say I tried to hit him.
with your car?
Well, yeah, if I'm driving in the middle of the street, he's in the middle of the street, then yes, I guess you could say I tried to hit him.
Yeah, go ahead.
He came after me as I pulled over. He came with a pipe of some sort, smashed the side of my car in the driver's door, then the back door, and then smashed out the back window.
Does that sound right, Mr. Green?
No.
Well, how did all the windows get broken on his car?
I don't know how all the windows got broken. I know I busted the back window out. I didn't bust any of the other windows out.
Can I see pictures of the car, please?
The other windows were not busted out. It's the side, or the top of my car, on the side of my car, that was damaged with a pipe.
What kind of car do you have?
Grand Prix.
Ooh, no, that's a pipe, Mr. Green. That's not a rock, sir. That's pipe. What kind of work do you do?
I'm a roofing supervisor.
A what?
Roofing supervisor.
If I were spend my days up on the top of a roof, I don't think I would get as sauced as you do, sir.
I take off when I want.
That's responsible.
I pick my days.
Can I see the estimates on your car, please? Either one of you treated at any hospital or by any doctor on the night of the 8th or the 9th of September?
No.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
Treated by a doctor or a hospital?
No, it was not.
Okay, so we're not talking about any injuries to you. We're talking about two people who had been drinking a lot, right? Let me ask you a question. Did you have a fight with your ex-girlfriend that evening?
No.
Did you ask her whether or not she'd called him to come over?
Yes, I did.
And what did she say?
She said no.
But you see, that's a lie, because she let him in the house.
You know, when somebody stalks you so much, then you can only do so much.
Listen to me. If somebody's stalking, uncross your hands. somebody's stalking you, you don't resolve his stalking by calling him at 4 o'clock in the morning to come over to the house. And you don't let him in the house, sir.
Yeah, well, he's coming to my house 2:30 in the morning.
I don't care about your house. I'm talking about the girlfriend's house, sir.
I'm not worried about that no more.
Oh, listen, when you drink, you have to pay the piper. I don't think your girlfriend was honest with you, sir, with regard to what happened that evening. Maybe she was a little drunk, too, which is why she called Mr. Foster over. Certainly her father got fed up with all of you, told you all to leave. If he was afraid for his daughter's life, he would have taken her into the house and said, you guys get out of here because you're placing my entire family at risk. So I think that's something you really have to look into. And maybe if you had a clear head, Mr. Green, and weren't so infused with alcohol, you could look at the situation a little more clearly. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,941. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Talent agent Theolani DeGuire is suing the owner of a Polynesian dance company, 28-year-old Lauren Michaels, for non-payment of services rendered.
Miss Michaels, what kind of work do you do?
I have a Polynesian entertainment company.
And your company provides Polynesian entertainment for whom?
For clients, shows.
What kind of show did you hire people for that is involved in this case?
A car show.
Had you dealt with Miss DeGuire before?
No, I haven't.
How did you find her?
I went on the internet. I was in a position where I needed one more act, and it was like the night before.
So you needed another act for the car show. You found her ad on the internet.
Actually, no. I found someone else's ad, and they said, we don't do any last-minute gigs like this, and here's her number.
Fine. This is what the situation is. You contacted her, and she was to provide you with 2 or 3 young women who were going to dance at this car show. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
And the agreed-upon fee was $300.
That's correct.
So far? That's
Yes.
correct. Hold up.
3 girls.
Okay. These are 2 of the 3 girls?
Yes, it is.
And they performed?
Yes, they did.
Miss Michaels, according to your complaint, gave the girls $200.
Yes, she gave them $200.
Check for $200. And then she put a stop payment on that check.
Yes, she did.
Now, Miss Michaels, you're going to tell me why you put a stop payment on that check.
Okay. There was a lot of broken agreements. They were supposed to meet me at 4:30. They showed up 3.5 hours late. 5 minutes before the showtime.
Yes.
They said they're going to let me choose between 2 to 3 costumes. And I didn't have that opportunity. They're still cutting
So why don't you send them home when they got there 5 minutes before the event?
Because I wanted to fulfill my commitment.
So if you wanted to fulfill your commitment, then you let them perform, right? That's why you didn't send them home. What I'm asking you is why you stopped payment on the check. And I haven't heard anything yet.
Because when I saw the videotape afterwards of what was promised for a professional show, because I have act number 1, which is my group, which is a professional act, and what was promised for a professional show and matching costumes and all of that, I'm backstage with my girls. They're going on.
So what you're telling me is you weren't satisfied with the performance?
Not at all.
Good. Listen to me very carefully, madam. I want you to think about you taking several of your clients into a restaurant, and you have a reservation for 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock comes and goes, and they don't seat you. They say, we're not going to be able to seat you until 9 o'clock. Look at me. So you decide to wait. You don't say to your friends, we're going to go to a different restaurant. You decide to wait. And you wait till 9 o'clock, and then you sat down to eat. And you eat, and you really don't like the food. You finish whatever you finish. You have dessert, you have coffee, bill comes, you pay it. And then you call your credit card company and say, I want to stop payment on this check because I didn't like my dinner. You think that's reasonable? If you waited until the last minute to book another act and you needed another act, I'm speaking.
Okay.
And these people show up and they hadn't fulfilled, according to you, their agreement, then you say to them, ladies, go home.
Yes.
I'm not going to potentially embarrass myself by putting on an unknown. What you can't do, Miss Michaels, is put the act on and then say, I didn't like them, and I'm not going to pay you.
I never said that I wasn't going to pay them.
Of course you did. You stopped payment on the check.
I stopped payment. We spoke, and I said, whatever out-of-pocket expense that you had to pay the girls, I will give that to you, and that wasn't satisfactory to her.
It's not satisfactory. You had an agreed price. The agreed price was $300. Your choice was when they were late to send them home. Because it wasn't just that they were late. If they were late and wonderful, you wouldn't have had a problem. But you didn't know these people. You didn't know whether they could dance. You didn't know whether they could sing. You didn't know whether they had nice costumes. Yeah, you didn't know anything about them.
I made a poor judgment.
You did.
Yes.
And that's what business is all about. You make a
Exactly.
poor judgment and you learn from your mistakes. You try to book an act at the last minute and you get people. Where are you from?
Moreno Valley.
You're not from Hawaii, are you?
No.
You're not from French Polynesia, are you? And where are you from?
Corona.
Corona. That's not in Polynesia, is it?
No.
She's Hawaiian.
Shh. I don't care whether she's Hawaiian or Yiddish. She's not French Polynesian. You had a contract. If she is not fulfilling the contract by arriving at an appropriate time and giving you an opportunity to screen the talent, send them home. You can't use them and then decide you didn't like the meal. Do I make myself clear? Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $300. That's all.
You may step out.
20-year-old Catherine Gonzalez is suing her ex-boyfriend, 20-year-old exterminator Zachary Finney, for breaking their apartment lease and for a loan to have his teeth fixed.
So you two people, when you were under 20, decided to take up housekeeping together, according to what I read in your complaint, and you leased an apartment. At the time you leased this apartment together, were you working?
Yes, I was working.
And how much did you earn a week?
I got $9 an hour. I'd get like about $400 or $500 every 2 weeks.
Well, is it $400 every 2 weeks or $500 every 2 weeks?
The months differed, but I know in December when we moved in, I made $1,083.10 in December.
In December. Did you work overtime for Christmas during that time?
I worked a little bit more hours, but...
Okay. So let's say you made $500 every 2 weeks.
Yes.
Okay? And you, what kind of work were you doing?
I was a mover, and I made about, say, $350 every week.
So you made about $1,400
Yes, ma'am.
a month. And what kind of an apartment did you rent?
A one-bedroom,
How much was the rent?
$530.
When did you sign the lease?
We signed it in November, but it began December 1st, 2004.
And it was a 6-month lease?
It was a 1-year lease.
How long did you live there?
I lived there until June.
So you lived there for 6 months?
Yes.
And then you moved out?
Yes.
How long did you live there?
I lived there until September 30th of this year.
So you stayed on an extra 3 months?
I'd say almost 4.
Did you pay the rent for the 4 months that you lived there?
Yes.
They're coming after you for the 2 months rent that remains on the lease after he moved out?
Yes, 2 months. He didn't pay rent.
You want him to pay those 2 months?
Yes. And also, he had porcelain veneers put on before we moved into the apartment even. And he promised he would pay me back for those when we went to Mexico to get his porcelain veneers.
How long ago was that?
That was last fall. So
a year ago?
Yes, a year ago.
Forget about it. I'm not interested in something that happened a year ago. Then you moved in together, you pulled money. Did you have a joint bank account?
Yes.
Or no?
Yes.
Yeah. Get over it, Ms. Gonzalez. Okay. Now, why do you think that he should be responsible solely for the last 2 months' rent? You moved out in June.
He promised me he would stay there until the lease was over. I told him, he didn't want to live with his parents. I said, you don't have to worry. I won't ever make you live back with your parents. As long as you stay there, you can stay there. I trust you. And he promised that he would stay there until the lease was up.
Well, didn't you promise him you were going to stay there until the lease was up when you signed the lease with him?
Yes, but until he asked me to leave, then...
He asked you to leave, why?
There was a lot of reasons. I could have left before. I stayed there to help him pay rent, and really that was the only thing I was staying for towards the end. And the moment he told me that I could leave, I was happy. He said, please leave, and I said, okay.
Because he was making everybody's life miserable.
Yes. He was...
Well, but I still don't get your position that it was okay for you to leave and stick him with the rent, but it's not okay for him to leave and stick you with the rent, or at least half of it.
I would have stayed there, but he told me that I could leave.
Miss Gonzalez, stop being a baby. Two 20-year-olds, if they're not getting along, don't stay with each other. That's why police come to houses, because people get hot-tempered and nasty stuff that goes on in people's homes when they're not getting along. So you left.
Yeah.
And he paid the rent.
Yeah, he paid the rent.
So,
and he should have continued to pay it until December. Also,
You should have continued to pay it after you left in June. Where did you go?
I went to live with my dad. And
well, if you went to live with your dad, then you had plenty of money. You should have given him
no,
half
I
the
did not
rent.
have plenty of money. I had bills.
Listen to me. You should have given him half the rent. Said, I'm leaving. Too bad it didn't work out. We shouldn't live together. I'll give you half the rent.
I have a piece of paper, though, that says he owes me $800 per month for rent and expenses, regardless of whether we're living. It doesn't say not if Zach doesn't live there. It doesn't say any conditions on it. And so that was my guarantee that he would stay there and pay the rent, because he signed a piece of paper saying that he would.
Let me see it. I, Zachary Finney, will give $800 a month for rent or other reasons to Catherine Gonzalez for a period of 1 year from December 1st, 04 to December 1st, 05. What does that mean, sir?
To get the apartment that we moved into, I had a lease that I had prior to living there with my roommates. I had an apartment with them. I moved out, and my other roommate was supposed to take that over. He left, and that went on my credit, so I couldn't get approved. The reason I did that is the apartments asked me to do it so we could get approved to move in there. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to move in there.
So this wasn't for her.
It was to get us approved to live there.
Is that right? Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
All right, give this back to her. All right, now why are they just going after you for the last 2 months of this rent, Miss Gonzalez?
Because my name was on the lease.
So he's not even liable on the lease?
No, but this piece of paper was my guarantee that he would not.
That wasn't your guarantee. That's not the reason it was signed. So the rent is $530 a month?
Yes.
Did you give them notice you were moving out, sir?
No, I did not.
Why not?
I've been paying the rent ever since she moved out. It was September. We had a hurricane hit Louisiana, Katrina, and a hurricane that was going to hit Houston, Rita. Well, I'm an exterminator, and my customers started canceling, and I work off commission. If I don't work, I don't get paid. And I was out of work probably almost 2 weeks, I would say. I asked her for help, and she kept giving me a runaround about why she couldn't help me, so I just left. I wasn't going to stay there.
I got you. I got you.
Okay.
Well, in any event, you did have an agreement, and your agreement was each of you would pay half the rent. Is that your agreement when you
Yes.
moved in? And if there were 2 months left remaining on the lease, that means that each of you would be responsible for $530. Is that right?
Yes.
Well, you think it's fair, Mr. Finney, that you pay $530?
No, I don't.
Well, it is. It is, sir. You paid for the 4 months rent in the apartment, but you lived in the apartment for 4 months.
Yes.
And from what I gather from Miss Gonzalez, it was by mutual understanding that you left. She wasn't happy there. You weren't happy with her there. She was more than happy to leave. Is that right?
Yes.
Well, I think it's reasonable that each of you is responsible for the last 2 months that remain on this lease. And next time you decide to set up housekeeping with somebody, you better make sure it's somebody that's going to either stick it out with you, or if they're not going to stick it out with you, then you can afford to pay the rent by yourself. Do you understand?
Yes.
It's not his responsibility to pay this entire amount, nor is it yours. Anyway, judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $530. That's all.
Janelle Monet is suing her ex-boyfriend, Christopher Cook, for rent, utility bills, and a broken door. Christopher says Janelle is holding his belongings hostage.
Miss Monet, this is your complaint. You and Mr. Cook hooked up and lived together for a period of time.
Right.
You leased an apartment together. The understanding was that each of you expenses on the apartment. Shortly after you moved in, he stopped working. Stayed home, according to you, 7 months. He did not pay his share of the rent or utilities.
Right.
You want it. What kind of job did you lose, sir?
When I moved in with Janelle, I was working as a caretaker for a friend of mine who needed someone to take care of him. I had free room and board with the job. So when she asked me to do that, I was walking away from free room and board plus a small salary to move in with her. She told me that from the word go, there was no concerns about money, that I was to feel no burden about this. This whole gig she's pulling here is just about her wanting to get a payday, so she went through her money like she was a queen of town and going and taking everybody out all over the place.
In her. You know something, Mr. Cook? My problem is with a 37-year-old man who, for whatever reason, decides to live off a stranger. I don't understand that kind of mentality. I see it all the time. What
Who said I was
would
gonna live off a stranger?
inspire a person who's 37 years old
Right.
to think that there is some sort of an entitlement for them to, according to you, said, I did a lot of the chores. I did the cooking. I cleaned up. I
After
took
she had
care of myself.
After gastric bypass surgery, she needed me to do basically everything.
You said to me, sir,
It took
that
her-
I'm speaking, that she needed help for a month. Understood. That turned into 7 months when you did nothing.
3 months, she was unable to do for herself. I took care of everything. Then I got another job back at a place I used to work before. She proceeded to help me lose the job, basically, by wanting to be up all night with her friends out in the living room while I was trying to go to sleep in the bedroom. She did nothing to try and help. So I ended up losing the job after about a month in time. And it took another month and a half before I got another job. All I wanted from her was to provide an environment where we could both live together. I could go back to work. She was conducive to that and contribute to the home.
Miss Monet, you sold his property. When he left certain property in your house.
He had next to nothing when
I don't care if he had next to nothing. When he moved in, a lot of the stuff was purchased, and I guarantee you, if I got down to it with you, it would have been purchased for him.
Right.
The fact that you don't love him anymore and that he left doesn't mean that you get to take back the things that you bought him.
Right.
So not only did you take them back, but there were certain things that you sold. What did you sell?
A computer and a toolbox.
What kind of computer?
It was an old Dell that was built by Mr. Cook.
Well, if it was built by him, then it wasn't
Wouldn't be a
yours.
Dell. Right.
Why did you sell it?
Because I needed money to pay the rent.
How much did you sell it for?
$100.
That's not why you sold it. I don't even believe that you sold it. Who'd you sell it to?
A friend of mine.
Whose name is?
Steve.
Uh-huh. Steve what?
Steve.
And how do you know him?
He's a mutual friend of ours.
You know him?
I know him, yes, Your Honor.
You know if he bought your computer?
I know he didn't buy my computer.
You know he did not. How do you know, Mr. Cook, that Mr. Peterson did not buy the computer?
Because I confronted him on the very issue. He did not have my computer, Your Honor.
When did you confront him?
After I was aware of the fact that my computer was no longer there, along with 3 toolboxes, not one, and all various other possessions that were mine long before our relationship ever began.
Who did you sell the toolboxes to?
He has the toolboxes.
That's a lie, Your Honor.
You told me that you sold them in your complaint.
I got them back after that because he wanted them back, so I felt bad that I had sold them, and I bought them back from the person that I sold them to.
No.
Yes, I most certainly did.
Fine. Who did you sell them to?
I sold them to a friend of mine whose name is Francisco. He bought them for $60, and I bought them back.
Wouldn't pay for
Can
the
I
clothes on
ask
one
you this
floor.
question, Miss Monet?
Yes.
As for his personal belongings, when Christopher left home, and the means of recouping some of my losses and supporting myself, I had to sell his tools. That's what you wrote in your complaint. No, I bought them back because I felt badly. Why wouldn't you tell me that you purchased them back and gave them back to him?
Because I just recently did this. Just last week.
You mean after this lawsuit, or you just recently did it?
Yes.
All right. Well, you had an opportunity today to review your complaint and to sign it.
Right.
Today. Nowhere did you modify this complaint, right?
Right.
I mean, do you think that there's something wrong with me? They don't
No.
keep me here because I'm good looking. You lived rent-free for how long?
Rent-free is
Rent-free.
is there not a exchange of me doing activities or work for her that's also...
No. No.
But that was
There
the
was-
arrangement we had.
I don't believe that.
That was the arrangement we had, Your
I
Honor.
don't believe it.
I'm telling you that's what it was. whether
I
you
don't
believe
care
it or
what
not.
you're telling me, sir. I don't believe a 37-year-old
She had
man. I'm
gastric bypass.
speaking with any kind of character says, you take care of me, I'm going to do the cooking.
It wasn't. She had gastric bypass surgery.
That's fine then. If you love her and you want to help take care of her, you do that. For a week, 2 weeks, a month, as long as she needs you to help her take care of her, that's what you do if you love somebody. But you don't do it as a livelihood. I'm speaking, sir. You lived there not a month, not 2 months, not 3 months. You lived there 7 months, and in 7 months you didn't pay any rent. Consider that your tools. You got it? But you're not getting any rent money from him, madam, because he had no right to sell his property.
Right.
So whatever
Right.
money that you got for his property, put it towards the rent.
Okay.
Sounds to me like the two of you deserve each other. Your case is dismissed. Yours too. Goodbye.
25-year-old Suzanne Hiller is suing her ex-husband, Patrick King, for her lost wages after their daughter broke her leg.
Now it's case number 398 on the calendar in the matter of Hiller versus King. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated.
Miss Hiller, you used to be married to Mr. King. You have one child together, is that right?
Yeah.
Child is now 6?
7.
7. Sometime last year, Mr. King was enjoying visitation with his daughter, and she had an accident and broke her leg. And you stayed home to take care of her. You weren't working at the time, having lost your job about a week before this accident. You claim that you asked Mr. King to give you extra money for the purposes of having somebody come to the house and watch your daughter while you went out to look for a job, and he refused. So you want your husband to compensate you for the time you spent home taking care of your daughter.
Correct.
Doesn't that sound ridiculous to you?
No, there's a little bit more to this story.
Well, that's the lawsuit.
Yeah.
I mean, I assume that during the period of this visitation, there was an accident when she broke her leg. How did it happen, Mr.
Yes.
King?
She had to use the restroom, and she had a friend over, and typically she waits a little too long sometimes, and she was in a hurry to get to the restroom, and she was wearing socks, brand new sparkly socks, which were really slippery, and she was running across the tile floor with her friend in chase behind her, and when she rounded the corner, she slipped and fell, and she's been told,
Whatever. It's an accident. Now, Miss Hiller, is there anything that you know that suggests that this is not the way your daughter broke her leg? After all, she was 6 years old, so I'm sure you asked her. And she said she was running and she fell. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay.
But the story's changed. Now, I heard that she...
No, just don't look at him. Look at me.
Okay. I heard that she was running on the tile in the kitchen, playing with her friend, and he was in the bathroom. My daughter
What difference does it make?
Because
I mean, you're not suggesting that Mr. King caused the injury, that it was anything other than an accident.
I'm sure it was an accident.
Right. Now, has your daughter ever been to an emergency room other than this incident?
No.
Has she ever seen the doctor on an emergency basis?
No.
Has she ever gotten a very bad cold or sore throat?
No.
Nothing. So she is a miraculous 7-year-old who has never been ill.
She's very healthy.
I didn't ask you if she was very healthy or not. I had a whole bunch of children, and they were always sick. Children go to school, they get sick. They go to nursery school, they get sick. They play with their friends, they fall down, they need a stitch, they break an arm, or they sprain a wrist. That's what happens with children. That's not his fault. That's an accident. Now, why do you think that he should compensate you for taking care of your own child?
Because I had actually just lost my job. She had broken her leg on a Sunday, and I had lost my job on that Friday. So it had only been literally a couple of days. I got a phone call from him on that Sunday, which was the 5th of December, saying that it was about 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
I don't care. You have to understand something. I don't care about that. I don't care about the call and she broke her leg and I didn't take her to the doctor right away. It doesn't make any difference to me. He's her father. Accidents happen. She broke her leg. You're her mother. You're her primary custodian. You stayed home and took care of her. Aside from the fact you weren't working. I want to know under what theory you believe that your former husband should compensate you for taking care of your own child.
I was unable to collect any sort of money at that time. I had no way to work because I didn't have anybody to watch my daughter. She was in a cast for almost 6 months.
So what does that have to do with him?
She was out of school for about 4 of it.
What does that have to do with him?
He wouldn't watch her. I would ask him to come over.
Just a second. Is it true that you wouldn't watch your daughter?
No, I tried to see her. I actually tried to take her for regular visitation, and she wouldn't allow me to. Because she said she couldn't use her crutches. She didn't want her out of the house on her cast. Numerous other excuses, but I was denied the right to see her.
Miss Hiller, is that true?
That's not true.
You mean he asked you to come and pick her up, and you said you can come and pick her up, and he didn't?
He wouldn't. I would ask him. I said, can you please come over?
Not come over.
Oh, no. Yeah.
No. I'm not talking about coming over to your house. I'm talking about coming, picking up his daughter, and taking her to his house.
He wouldn't. He actually had the opportunity once. He was going to come once because it took a while for her to actually not be sedated because she was heavily sedated because of the severity of the break. I have a copy of the X-ray if you'd like to see it.
I would not. Are you telling me that a 6-year-old child was heavily sedated for more than a day or two?
It was probably about 3 weeks. She was on codeine.
I don't know what kind of a doctor you used keeping a 6-year-old on codeine. In any event, Miss Hiller, your former husband says that the reason you're here, the reason that you decided to sue him after all of this time, is because you had made a request. And that request was to send your daughter to live with some relatives for 10 months while you went back to school. Did you ask him to permit you and to amend your agreement and the court order of visitation to allow your daughter to go and live with relatives?
She was going to stay there for 2 months.
Stay where for 2 months?
St. Louis, Missouri. That's where my mother and father live, who she goes and visits every summer.
You asked your former husband if she could go to St. Louis. During what months?
It was the months of September, October, November.
That's school time. Where was she going to go to school?
My family was going to put her in school out there.
And he said no?
He said yes at first, and then he said no.
I never said yes. No way.
Mr. King, I have a sense that Miss Hiller has a problem with truth-telling.
You have a good sense, Your Honor.
That's totally incorrect.
Miss Hiller, he shouldn't even be asked if he will give up his daughter for 3 months for your convenience. That shouldn't be something that you should even consider. If you want to go to school, if you want to go on vacation, if you want to go trekking all over the world, you say to him, would you like, what's your daughter's name?
Ashlyn.
Ashlyn to come to live with you for the next 3 months or
I've been
6 months?
offering that.
Quiet.
Sorry.
I would like you to take Ashlyn for 3 months or 6 months because I want to go back to school. Whatever reason it was that you were going to send her to visit, to live, not visit, live with your parents. Because once she goes to live with your parents and they enroll her in school, that's not a visit. Did you ask Mr. King if he would be willing to take his daughter while you go back to school?
No.
Why not?
Because he's neglectful.
He is not neglectful, madam. You don't have a choice. If you want to send your daughter to live elsewhere, the first person who has the right to have custody of her is her father. Somebody that you picked, you married, and you chose to have a child with. And if you don't like that, that's too bad. But he's not a second-class citizen. If you want to go back to school, she goes to live with her father, not your parents 1,000 miles away. That's outrageous. And after he said no is when you filed this lawsuit. Outrageous. And I suggest that you not go to family court to seek permission for you to relocate your daughter, because Mr. King is going to get a copy of this tape and your motivations are going to be quite clear.
But those are not my motivations.
You have no right to send your daughter to live with your parents to go to school when she has a parent here. If you are unwilling and unable to take care of her, then she goes to live with her father, not your parents, not your sister, not your cousin, not your aunt, not your godmother. She goes to live with her father, who says, I'm more than willing to take care of her if you don't want her in your custody.
I just feel he doesn't take care of her.
That's not your decision to make. You chose him as a mate, and you chose him as a father of your child. And I don't believe you when you say your daughter has never been sick, because she would be the only child in creation who has not had an ear infection, a bad cold, a fever. The only one that I know of. I have 5 children, 11 grandchildren. All of them had been sick. And I got news for you. They have wonderful parents, at least as good as you. So when you say she's very healthy, never been sick, I don't believe you.
She's had the flu.
Oh.
But she's never been to the doctor because of an
Well,
accident,
if you didn't take, just
other
a
than
second,
leg.
if you didn't take her to the doctor and she had the flu, you're a neglectful parent. Because if flu, you have a big fever. Then you call the doctor and you check it. And if you didn't, you're neglectful. See how easy that is? You don't think you're a neglectful parent, do you? He's not neglectful because his child broke her leg while visiting with him. It was an accident. Get over it. And if you can't take care of her because you want to go to school, you have to say to her father, I can't manage her and my school. Will you take her while I'm in school? And if you choose not to do that, then she stays with you. But you don't retaliate by bringing a lawsuit against him. That's outrageous.
But I'm sorry, I don't mean to be disrespectful. I had asked him for money earlier. I had asked him to help me with daycare.
You didn't bring the lawsuit until after he said, I'm not consenting to your sending her to St. Louis.
We had
then
made
you
other arrangements.
Just a second. Okay. You have no right to ask him that. You have no right to be angry at him when he says no. This child has 2 parents, a mother and a father. And the Supreme Court of every state in this country says that you have no greater right to custody, unless a court says so, than her father does. He is not a second-class person. And you better think about that. Maternal grandparents don't have a greater right to custody than a child's father. Did you ever go to a hospital when you were a child?
I did.
For what? For what?
I think I put something up my nose.
You put something up your nose. Where were you when you put something up your nose?
I was with my mother.
Your mother. Did they take you away from her and make you a ward of the state?
No.
It was an accident, right?
Yeah, I actually
was she not?
put it
Just
up
a
my
second.
nose.
Was she watching you carefully? Was she supervising you? If she wasn't supervising you adequately, maybe you should have gone to live with somebody else. Maybe your grandparents. It was an accident. Do you understand? Get over it. Case is dismissed.
Sharon Martina Napolitano is suing the mother of her daughter's boyfriend, Deborah DeSimone, for damage caused to her Toyota Camry while the car was in her possession.
You 2 lovely ladies are neighbors, and you each have a child. You have a girl. You have a boy. They're dating each other.
Yes.
This is your complaint. You allowed your daughter, this young lady right here, to use your car. She was using your car one day to take Miss DeSimone around to do some chores.
Correct.
And that wouldn't have bothered you necessarily, because she's the mother of the boyfriend, right? But then Miss DeSimone asked if she could borrow the car herself, because she wanted to go food shopping, right?
Yes,
Food
to
town.
pick up a couple items.
And your daughter allowed her to drive the car. The car was damaged. You want Miss DeSimone to pay for the damage to the car.
Absolutely.
Miss DeSimone says she took the car, went into Food Town. While she was in Food Town, somebody must have hit your car.
Correct.
Right?
That is correct.
So it's not her fault. That's what you're saying.
That's correct.
We'll see. What year is your car?
It's a 1995 Camry.
How long have you had it?
Approximately a year.
So you bought it secondhand?
Yes, ma'am.
How many accidents have you had?
I've had one other one where I was hit from behind at a red light.
So you had a rear end damage to the car? Bumper or?
Bumper.
Bumper. Only the bumper?
Only the bumper.
Was the car fixed?
No.
On September 6th, what kind of damage was done to your car?
It would be the right quarter panel.
Do you have a photograph?
Absolutely.
I'd like to see it, please.
Here's before and after.
Ooh. That's a bad one. Okay. So, you still dating each other?
Yes.
Okay, this is not going to be painful. Believe me. We're going to use the but-for rule, Miss DeSimone.
Okay.
But for the fact that you borrowed the car and took it to Food Town to go shopping, this wouldn't have happened. Unfortunately, you took the car. You didn't have her permission to drive the car. You had her daughter's permission to drive the car.
Actually, there was a couple things that happened prior to that. While I was in the car with her daughter, it was a very rainy day. Her daughter was driving the car. The car was hydroplaning a lot, and she became very nervous and asked if she pulled over if I would drive. I said, no problem, if it's safer. We completed our mission. We did proceed home. Asked if she didn't mind if I ran back out to just pick up a couple items at the Food Town. That's when all that began, and the police report states differently, if you'd like to see it, that he even stated, the police officer, that he saw prior damage on the car.
You mean this prior damage?
No, other damage.
We're not talking about other damage. We're talking about this damage.
But she's saying that there was only damage to the bumper, and according to this, it states that there was...
What difference does it make? This damage was not on the car, madam, when you borrowed it.
No.
That's all I'm talking about.
I don't believe so.
I am only talking about, well, you don't miss this damage.
No.
Ma'am,
No, you don't have to speak. It was going to be easy. Now it's not so easy. For the fact that you borrowed the car, took it to Food Town, the car would have been parked in her driveway. If the car was parked in her driveway, the same driver that hit her car from Food Town would have had to look for it.
Can I please say
Stop.
something?
Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
And she's taking your word for the fact that you don't know how this accident happened. But it looks as if she had hit somebody else's car, unless she, I don't know how you can contort yourself to do this kind of a damage to somebody else's car. But you had the car, but for the fact that you borrowed the car, it wouldn't have had this kind of damage.
Correct.
This damage. Good. Then we don't have a problem. What do you want?
Okay. She just got done stating that the car was hydroplaning earlier, okay?
It doesn't make any difference.
Excuse me. They made it home safely. She has a Jeep Cherokee parked in the same parking lot that she could have used her own vehicle to go to the store. There is no reason to take my little car back out.
Let me ask you this question. Now you're getting angry, and you already won. So you have to go, find your center.
I've been trying to do a lot of it. I've been trying to find a lot of my
center and say, it's over.
But I would have never asked her son to use her car.
Listen to me. It's a car. She's responsible. Done. Romeo and Juliet here, going to leave here happy. I suggest you do the same. How much did it cost to fix your car?
The estimate is $1687.98.
That's a pretty cheap estimate for this kind of damage.
I think so.
It is. Anything else? Romeo, Juliet. Judging for the plaintiff in the amount of $1687.98. Thank you. That's it.
Bridget Johnson claims ex-boyfriend Robert Jones owes for an assault and for funeral costs for their child. Robert claims the deceased child wasn't his.
Miss Jones, according to the complaint that I've read, the defendant was your boyfriend. He became pregnant sometime in 2005.
Yes.
You broke up with the defendant and you were pregnant at the time.
Yes.
It is your claim that he assaulted you, and as a result of that assault, your baby was born prematurely and died. You want the defendant to pay for half of the baby's funeral expenses and damages for the assault.
Yes.
Mr. Jones says that you were the one who assaulted him, as a matter of fact, on the day that you broke up, that he never agreed to pay for the child's funeral expenses. As a matter of fact, he wasn't even positive that the child was his and told you that he had wanted a blood test before he assumed responsibility of the baby. That's your defense?
Yes, it is.
Okay. When did you become pregnant, Miss Johnson?
I found out I was pregnant July 22nd.
Of what year?
2005.
And were you living with Mr. Jones at the time?
Robert was staying with me along with his son because he was having arguments with his mother.
Did you move in with her in July or before that time?
I'll be staying over, you know.
You were staying over?
Yeah.
Okay. And when did you break up?
November 20th as a result of the assault.
Just listen to me. Had he slept at the house the night before?
Yes.
And the night before that?
Yes.
So tell me what happened on November the 20th.
November the 20th, I received a phone call from Rob at about 3 o'clock in the morning.
Well, then he hadn't been at your house 3 o'clock in the morning.
No, he was at the bars. He would frequently go to the bars and then come over to my house afterwards. And he had called me at 3 o'clock in the morning stating that he was going to come over. I ran downstairs and unlocked the door like I would usually do, and he didn't come in. So after a while, I looked out my window and saw that the car was parked and the headlights were on and the car was still running. So I laid there for a couple more minutes and then got dressed. And when I walked outside, I saw that Rob was passed out in the driver's seat. So I crawled into the passenger seat and woke him up and asked him, you know, what he was doing and why he hadn't come in the house, and he told me that he didn't know. So we were trying to get the headlights of the vehicle to turn off. They wouldn't turn off. So I suggested that we just unplug the battery. I was 5 months pregnant. I didn't want to be fighting with him. I would much rather just go to bed. He wanted me to, you know, be with him that night, and he wanted to be around me. So I stated, you know, let's just unplug the battery. We couldn't figure out the lights. So he started to proceed to back out of my driveway. I told him that he was drunk, that I didn't want to go anywhere with him. And he wasn't listening to me, so I leaned over and smacked him in the face. I went like this to the front of his face. He then looked at me, told me to do that again, and I looked at him and said, "What did you mean?" And the next thing I knew, he punched me in my face.
So first you punched him and then he punched you?
Yeah, I didn't punch him.
No, just a second. So first you punched him.
Yes.
And then he punched you?
Yes.
Okay, now I got it.
But the only reason I hit him is because he wasn't listening to me and he wouldn't stop the vehicle.
I got you.
So then my nose...
He wasn't listening to you.
Yes.
Why don't you just take the keys out of the ignition?
I didn't think of that.
You shouldn't have gotten in the car in the first place.
I shouldn't have told him to come over that evening.
That's also correct.
Knowing that he was drunk.
That is also correct.
Yes,
okay,
I agree.
Keep going.
I realized that my nose was bleeding very, very badly. So I opened the car door and I half jumped out of the car, and he like kind of gave me a little push along with it because he was laughing at the time. And I ran in the house and proceeded to call my mother first. And
so you weren't too far from where the house was?
No, I live on the second house at the corner of the block, and we were at the corner of the block.
Keep going.
I called my brother and he took me to the emergency room.
And what did they do for you there?
I first saw a police officer, and they went to arrest Rob.
That doesn't answer my question. What did they do for you in the emergency room?
At the emergency room, they took x-rays of my face, and I was having a sharp pain that was shooting from my back to my stomach. So then I was told that I had to go up to the maternity floor for monitoring on the baby.
And that was in November?
Yes.
And when was the baby born?
The baby was born in February.
February what?
7th.
How much did she weigh?
She weighed 2 pounds, 2 ounces.
And when did she pass away?
The 11th.
Between November 20th and February 7th, did you see the defendant?
I saw him at the court dates.
Other than that?
No, because there was a court order for him to not be within 1,000 feet of me.
Now, when did you have this conversation with him with regard to paying for the baby's funeral expenses?
Okay, the first conversation I had with Robert was when he called me in late June after Father's Day. And I said, well, I kind of need money, you know, we should be paying for her gravestone, and I have funeral expenses that I couldn't get a grant from the state from everything. And he told me that he would give me $200 in August, and that him and his mother could save that together. I then called him on August 24th, and he told me he didn't have the money. So I said that I would pay the rest of it and that he could just pay me back. And he proceeded to say that that was fine. The next time I spoke to Robert was on September 17th when he called me and asked me if I wanted to go fishing with him with him. So I said, yeah, that I would go fishing because I wanted to speak to him about, the money.
Don't tell me why. You agreed to go fishing with him.
Yes. I knew
Is this
that.
the first time you had seen him other than the courthouse? Listen
No.
to me.
No.
Other than the court proceeding, is this the first time you saw him since November?
Other than court and then our daughter's birth, no.
Well, you didn't tell me about the daughter's birth.
My sister called him the morning that I was supposed to have a cesarean section. I was diagnosed with preeclampsia, which is high blood pressure, and then it becomes toxic and it affects the baby's heart rate. And the first time I had high blood pressure was December 20th, and it proceeded to get worse throughout the pregnancy due to stress-related causes.
Don't tell me what it was due to, madam, unless
Okay.
you're a physician. Are you a physician?
No.
Good. Go ahead.
My sister called him the morning that I was supposed to have the cesarean section. He showed up shortly after our daughter was born, and I asked him if it would be okay with him to go up with her to the hospital up in the cities, because we live in Mankato, and she was being airlifted to Minneapolis. He said that he would go and be with her because they didn't expect her to live past the night. The next day, I was released from the hospital, and the following morning, Robert came down from the cities and took us up to the cities where the hospital was because we weren't aware of where it was.
What do you mean he took you? How did he take you?
We followed him.
What do you mean you followed him?
My mother and sister and I followed him in a different vehicle. Him and his mother drove in their own vehicle. So when we got to the cities, he went to a basketball tournament and left us with my daughter so I could spend time with her. And then later on that evening, he came back to the hospital when I was at the hotel the following day.
I'm asking you when you spent time with him.
I didn't spend...
You didn't see him at the hospital?
No, he left as soon as he got us there. We got up to the room.
You didn't see him in the hospital is my question.
No, yes, I seen him at the hospital.
How many times did you see him in the hospital?
Just that first day.
So the baby died in February.
Yes.
Between February and September 17th, when he called to go fishing, did you see him?
On occasion, out and about, at like local stores, yes.
Other than seeing him at local stores, did you have a cup of coffee with him? Did you have a sandwich with him? Did you go out to a movie with him?
No.
Is that true, sir?
It's true.
So what prompted you to call her up to go fishing on September 17th?
Actually, she called me, and I just had mentioned we were going fishing. And if she, if she wanted to come, it was a beautiful day out. So she said, sure. So went fishing, took her home, that was it.
Go ahead. So continue with your story, madam. Here we are.
We went fishing.
We are now September 17th fishing, and he hasn't given you any money.
And when we went fishing, Robert and I took his mother to Cub Foods so that she could get milk for the house before he dropped me off at my apartment, which is about 3 blocks away from Cub Foods, which is a local grocery store.
Just keep going,
Okay.
please. I don't need a map of the town.
Okay.
Keep moving.
So after we dropped his mother off at Cub Foods, it was him and I in the vehicle, and I brought up the money, and he told me that he had bills himself that he needed, and I proceeded to leave the vehicle. And then at the powwow, I saw him and brought up the money again, and that's actually
So you
why
weren't afraid of him?
No.
No, you
Not when
weren't
he's
afraid.
not drinking.
No, you weren't afraid of him.
No, I'm not scared of him unless...
Why in the world, some 2 years later, are you suing him now for assault?
I just think that he owes me the money. I was emotionally distraught from the loss of my daughter.
I want to know why you didn't sue him before you went fishing with him.
I didn't want to go through the court proceedings.
Well,
and
what
everything.
prompted you now to go through a court proceeding to sue him for a punch that happened 2 years ago?
The fact that he won't pay for our daughter's funeral expenses.
Did he ever tell you that he wasn't sure that the baby was his?
No, he never told me that. And if he didn't think that the baby was his, why would he go up to the cities and sit with her?
I don't know. I'm going to find out. Tell me what happened on November 20th, Mr. Jones.
Okay, I had broken up with her earlier that day because she was real emotional, and she was kind of abusive towards me. You know, she would hit me in my chest or whatever. Kind of, she did it like she knew because I wouldn't hit her, and she knew that, you know, I'm not a violent person. I never hit a female ever in my life, and I broke up with her earlier that day.
Well, tell me about breaking up with her earlier that day.
I was actually going to play ball with my friends, which I always did, and she kind of like got emotional and started, you know, kind of like crying.
No,
she cried a lot.
Kind of like, if you remembered what she said, if you remember as closely to what happened, please, I would
Well,
like
we weren't getting along before this either, so on that day, I told her that it was over.
Is that right, madam?
No.
Before he went out to the bar that night, because clearly you had to unlock the door because you would lock the door, so clearly he wasn't living with you at that moment. Did he discuss with you earlier in the day on November 20th that he was not happy with the relationship?
No, he had never once tried to or attempted to tell me that he was not happy in our relationship.
Okay, keep going.
Okay, and so I called her and told her that I was going to come get my things.
What time?
This was at like about 2:30.
In the morning?
In the morning.
You crazy? Why would you call at 2:30 in the morning to say you were getting your things?
The bar was like right by her place.
So you had been in the bar, Mr. Jones? Yeah.
And I wasn't all like how she made it out to be.
I don't care whether you were all that. This is not an appropriate thing to do.
Yep,
to go 2:30 in the morning, to go while you're slightly inebriated, to get behind the wheel of a car and go anywhere, to settle anything.
Yep.
You're supposed to wait until the morning.
Okay, so I went and grabbed my, tried to grab my things. I told her that, you know, I just came to get my things and that it was over, and she kind of got mad because she didn't want to never break it off anyways. And prior to this, she had injured herself twice at work to get my attention. She would, oh, I'm at the emergency room, come down. And she, according to her, was in a car accident that rolled or whatever. This is all her stories, and I never had proof of anything, so.
How many times did you go to the emergency room with her prior to November 20th?
Just the day this kid was born. But after she had gotten pregnant, she told me that, like, just like weeks after I found out, she said that we got into an argument. She said she's early enough in her pregnancy where she can say somebody else is the father. And I said, well, how do I know that's not what you're doing to me? And I tried going to her first doctor's appointment, and she left me sitting out in the lobby.
Okay, got it. Did you ever tell her that you and your mother could save up $200 until August?
Yes, I did.
And that you would give her $200?
Yeah, I said that basically so she would just, you know,
I don't care why you said it.
Yeah.
Did you tell her that?
Yes, I did.
Now, let's get back to November 20th. You said you were coming to pick up your things 2:30 in the morning.
Yep.
2:30 in the morning you got there, and?
She opened the door and she didn't want me in. And I wasn't going to barge in because that's not how I am.
Fine, so?
So she basically hit me in my eye because I told her I wanted my things and it was over. And she hit me in my eye, closed the door, looked out the window, and I said, that's fine. That's the last time you'll ever hit me. And I walked all, her sister actually dropped him off at my work.
Is what you're telling me that she never got into your car?
She never did.
All right, I'd like to see the police report, please.
Yes, and I have pictures.
I'd like to see the police report, please.
If I could say something, too, there was never even a police or even there.
Sir, you pled guilty to 5th-degree assault, according to the plaintiff.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so. All right, so you told the police that he doesn't live with you. That's what you told the police.
I told the police that he was staying at his mother's house.
You told the police that you do not live together and that he stays on and off, but he lives with his mother. Who are you?
Robert Armando's mother.
Stand up, please. Your last name is?
Jones.
Miss Jones, you told the police when they came to your house on November the 20th to go downstairs and get your son. Is that right?
Right.
You told him to go downstairs and get your son because he came home drunk.
Right.
And he was passed out on the couch.
Right.
Right. And you, sir, when you were questioned by the police, you were so drunk that you denied even being over at your girlfriend's house.
Yeah, well, yeah.
You know, Mr. Jones, there is absolutely no indication here, nor, I assume, do you have any medical testimony that would indicate a correlation between your baby's death 2 months after you got this black eye, because that's what it was, and the baby's illness.
No.
No. So what you're suing him for is for the simple assault of giving you a black eye and the $200 he promised you for the baby's headstone. He's not responsible with regard to any of the other baby's expenses because there is no indication that this is in fact his child. In order to do that, you either have to be married, which you are not, or you have to have a blood test, which would establish that he's the father. Then he would be responsible for half of any unrecovered expenses for the child. Since you don't have that, the only thing that you have to sue him on is his agreement that he would pay you $200 towards the child's headstone, which was really gratuitous, but he promised he would. You relied on that. That you have to pay, sir. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
Since there is no correlation between the injury to your eye and what subsequently happened to the baby, I have to examine the circumstances surrounding what happened on that day. There's no question in my mind that he was drunk, that he has no recollection of what happened that day, that he's making it up as he's going along, because he even denied to the police that he was there that day. Even your mother was disgusted with you, sir. Is that a fair statement, Miss Jones? Right. Okay. Now, you pled guilty to assaulting her, sir.
Yes, I did.
And you received probation?
Nope, I just got a $500 fine.
No, he was placed on probation for 1 year.
Sir, you better start remembering things that happened to you.
I never was. I was supposed to get a probation officer. I never did.
I don't care whether you were supposed to, whether they never followed through and gave you a probation officer. Maybe you forgot. But if you were supposed to get a probation officer, it wasn't because they were giving you a probation officer for your birthday. They were giving you a probation officer because you were on
probation.
You have to learn, Mr. Jones, that there are consequences. However, Ms. Johnson, you don't get any awards for being the brightest bulb in the pack. When you're 5 months pregnant and your boyfriend calls 3 o'clock in the morning and says, I'm at a bar and I'm coming over, you lock your door and you keep it closed. You don't go outside to try to figure out how to get the lights off and disconnect his battery.
Yeah.
And you don't punch him in the face. But he started the problem by coming over there in the first place, which was really very stupid. And that, Mr. Jones, is going to cost you $500. So I'm issuing a judgment in the amount of $700, $200 for the baby's headstone and $500 for this 2-year-old assault. Thank you very much. That's all.
Christine Lawson is suing her ex-boyfriend, Joseph Lemos, for the cost of a big screen TV they purchased as a couple. Joseph says when they broke up, Christine kept the TV.
Miss Lawson, this gentleman used to be your boyfriend. You lived together for a period of time. Something happened while you were living together with your TV. You claimed that he wanted to buy a big screen TV. You put it on a credit card. You allowed him to use the credit card. He used it not only for the TV, but for some other things. He paid for the other things that he used. Ultimately, he paid off the credit card up to the amount of the TV after you broke up, and then he stopped paying for the TV. You want him to pay for the television. Sounds very reasonable, right?
Yes.
Except that you have the TV.
Correct.
So, I'm confused. Mr. Lema says that he did in fact use the credit card to purchase some other things. Even after you broke up, he continued to make payments on the credit card until he had paid off all of the items he had purchased, but for the television.
Correct.
And the reason he didn't pay for the television is because you have the television. When did you break up?
It's about April or May of 2006.
And when was the television purchased?
August of 2004.
So you've been watching the television?
Correct.
In your house?
Yes.
Why don't you pay for it?
I never wanted it. I don't like it. I would love to give it back to him, but I don't have, I'm using it as collateral, I guess, to get the rest of the money that he owes me.
The only money that's owed is owed for the television.
Not entirely.
Most of it is for the television.
I guess you could say that.
So what you want me to believe, Miss Lawson, is that he said to you, you can keep this $3,000 television and watch it, and I'm going to make the payments on it.
No, that's not how the conversation actually
Well, tell me how the conversation actually went.
Okay. When we broke up, there was still about $4,000 on the credit card, which, as you said, there was multiple things on there. He was paying me up until September of 2006.
Correct,
and
then he stopped. Right.
And he wanted to take his TV, which would have been fine to me. However, I couldn't guarantee that I would get the rest of the money that he owed me if I handed over the TV. I had no way of contacting him. I had no cell phone number. The only way I had was email. Most of the emails that I had sent him were ignored.
He paid you for the 6 months.
Well, he was paying on multiple things. That wasn't the only thing on there.
He paid the credit card honorably.
Correct.
Until the only thing left was a television that you were watching.
Well, the television was...
And he wanted it back when you broke up.
Correct.
Well, then you're watching it. You pay for it. I mean, it's not rocket science.
Well, the amount owed on the credit card exceeded what the amount of the television was.
When?
When we broke up, when he
Right,
stopped
but he's-
paying.
Come on, Miss Lawson. I just made it perfectly clear to you that there's an agreed set of facts, and the agreed set of facts are he paid until September when the only thing that remained on the credit card was the television set, which he had initially asked for when you broke up, which you declined to give him, which you've been watching and you've been using. You pay for it. That's all. Case is dismissed. That's all.
27-year-old Angela Salura is suing her ex-boyfriend, 24-year-old Freddie Lara, for a loan to restore his Mustang. Freddie claims Angela paid the bill without consulting him.
Mr. Lara, it is your claim that the defendant, who is an old boyfriend of yours, owes you some money.
Correct.
For a loan that you made to him. And the purpose of the loan was to have an old car fixed.
Yes.
This was a specialty car?
It's just, it's going to be a classic soon. It's just a car I always wanted
Me
to fix
too.
up.
What kind?
I clean windows on high rises.
That's a pretty dangerous job.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing that?
Like 7, 8 years now.
Make a good living?
Yeah, except when they lay you off.
Well, you don't do it when it's windy or snowing or raining.
Right.
How much do you make a year?
Anywhere from 48 to 68,000 a year.
And how many people do you support?
Just myself.
What kind of car is this that you have?
It's a 1986 Ford Mustang GT.
And your age, sir?
24 now.
Got a lot of money in the bank?
No, unfortunately.
Do you own a home?
No, I'm working on it. I'm renting an apartment for now.
Well, you make a lot of money. What do you do with all your money?
It's expensive to live in New York.
You don't put any money away?
No, I try. Not really.
You need a good woman, sir, to help you out. You also have a claim for harassment. It is your claim that he's been making harassing phone calls to you, and it's because you believe it's because you confronted his now girlfriend and told her that he was still involved with you.
She did not know about the payments. She never knew. He began dating her a week after we broke up, and she just found out about our involvement beginning of January
How
of
did
this
she
year.
find out?
She found a text message in his phone.
Is that right, sir?
Yes, sir, because she was harassing.
She was harassing for what?
Yeah, she was mad about the breakup, so she
She
couldn't
mad
leave
about
me
the
alone.
breakup, or did she ask you for money?
She was harassing me about everything.
Was money involved?
Yes.
These are not hard questions, sir. Now, tell me about this loan.
We were dating for about a year, and within that time, he needed some major repair work done on the car. It was a car that both of us were using for transportation, or rather him. I don't drive. I don't have a license.
So he was driving you around?
Yes. I used to live with him, and where we live, you cannot get around unless you have a car.
How long did you live together?
About 9 months.
Where were you living at the time? In your apartment?
Staying with my mom at the time.
So how were you living together?
She
Where
allowed-
did you live together?
In his bedroom.
At his mother's house?
In his mother's house.
Just a second. In his mother's house. So neither one of you were paying any rent?
I did I tried to give them money as much as I could.
Don't tell me tried. I'm not interested in your trying. So you weren't paying any rent? And you weren't paying any rent?
We were, when we could.
Well, sir, if you make $50,000 a year, it seems to me you could help out with your own rent. What does your mother do for a living?
She's a stay-at-home mom.
Well, how does she support herself?
Her boyfriend.
And she had the two of you living there.
Yes, correct.
Tell me about the loan.
He needed some major repair work done on the car. The car was not running, and he asked if he could use my credit card because I don't have any money except for my credit card, and he told me he would pay me back. So I lent him the credit card, and within that time, he was making payments to me weekly.
To you or to the credit card?
He was giving them to me, and I was paying the credit card because the credit card was in my name.
How much was he giving you?
Anywhere from $100 to $200 a week.
Tell me when you actually put the bill on your credit card. What was the date?
Between June and July, 7 transactions were put on the credit card in the amount of about $5,000.
I'd like to see it.
Sure.
Who had physical possession of the credit card?
I did.
So how would this money be placed on the credit card?
A few times I went with him to use the credit card, and there were a few times where I just gave him the card. And I never used the credit card, Your Honor, with the exception of maybe 1 or 2 times. It was all of the car repairs.
Who has the car now?
It's his car. He has it.
When did you break up?
August 26th of 2006.
So shortly after the car was taken
Yes.
care of. Now, Mr. Lara, I read your answer. Your answer says that you had made an arrangement with the place that was fixing your car, that you were going to pay them out.
Yes.
and she took it upon herself to go in with a credit card and pay the bill. But that's not true, because there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different times that the credit card was used. So you must have known about it.
Yes, I did.
And did you say, don't do it because I'm going to pay them
Absolutely.
out?
I insisted that she didn't do it.
Each time you said, don't do it because I'm going to pay them out.
She said it's something we both need, so.
I believe that. No, I believe that. Listen to me, Mr. Lara. I believe that she said to you, listen, I use the car, because she did use the car. So she said, we're both using the car, so I'm going to pay for it. Instead of paying them, pay me. And she says that you were giving her money, Mr. Lara.
Yeah, I felt bad. I didn't want her to spend so much for
Now,
a gift.
you felt bad when you were living together?
Yes.
Speak up!
Yes.
Scared to death of me or what? Are you always this low energy, sir?
Yes.
It's very hard to get excited with you, Mr. Lara. Mr. Lara, I want you to pay careful attention to all my words, sir. While you were living together, you felt badly about what she spent on the car, on your car, so you were giving her money.
Yes.
After you broke up, you stopped feeling badly, so you stopped giving her money. Is that what you're telling me?
She kept on harassing.
No, don't tell me her. I don't want to hear harassing. I want to hear, while you were living together and using the car together, listen, I want you to follow the logic of this. You were paying her while you were together and using the car together, right?
Yes.
After you broke up with her and started to see your new girlfriend and she wasn't using the car anymore with you, you didn't feel badly anymore, so you stopped giving her money.
Well, I didn't want it to interfere with my relationship. She kept harassing me because things with her, who she was trying to get with, wasn't going well, so I think she's suing me because of the breakup.
I don't give a rat's behind what you think. I asked you a very simple question, and you understand my question, because I don't think there's total vacancy between your ears, sir. While you were together and both using it, you paid her for laying out the money. When you were no longer together and she wasn't using the car, you stopped paying her. That's what you're telling me. That's objective, not what you thought, what you felt, but that's what happened. Doesn't that sound stupid to you?
No, because it was a gift.
Mr. Lara, I know that you have this word gift in your mind, but what you did in paying her belies the fact that it was a gift, sir. You paid her for the credit card. Hundreds and hundreds of dollars, according to her, because she's only suing you for what she claims is the balance, which is $3,400. And the total was close to $5,000 to fix the car. So you paid her a lot of money to pay down the credit card. Do you understand, sir?
Yes.
Listen, was he more exciting when you were together?
He had his moments.
Few and far between.
He has a problem with confrontation, Your Honor.
There's a problem with confrontation?
Yes.
Oh, and I love confrontation. That's why we don't get along. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,400. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Bail bondsman Aaron McAllister says former client Elena Zadevich owes for unpaid bail money.
What were you arrested for, Ms. Zadevich?
I was arrested on false charges of domestic violence that my ex filed against me.
I didn't ask you whether they were true or not true. I asked, what were you arrested for?
I was arrested on allegations of domestic violence.
Was it the first time you were arrested?
Yes.
Look at me. Was it the first time you were arrested? The answer is either yes or no.
No.
Better. When was the first time you were arrested?
Several years ago.
Having nothing to do with domestic violence?
Has something to do with domestic violence.
So you have 2 arrests for domestic violence?
That's correct.
Was it the same complainant in each case?
Different.
Different. Okay. You are a bail bondsman?
Yes, Your Honor.
It is your claim that you received a call from the defendant in jail. You responded. You bailed her out of jail. At her request, she promised to pay for the bond. She did not. You want your money.
Yes.
Defendant says you're a sleazy bail bondsman and she's not paying you.
Correct.
When did you receive the call?
Sometime in the middle of the night from the county jail.
What night? I'm not Karnak. What night would you like to tell me it is?
July the 15th.
In the middle of the night. You were home?
Correct. In bed.
How did you get his number?
It was posted on the wall in the county jail.
Do you have your home number posted in the wall in county jail?
No, ma'am. It's an office number that forwards to my cell phone in the evening and weekends.
I see. I wouldn't think that you'd want your house phone to have a number. Okay. What did the defendant say to you when she called?
That she was in jail and she had to get out. She had to get to work the next morning. If she didn't get out, she would lose her job.
What kind of job do you have?
I'm an executive assistant.
For whom?
For a small media startup.
How long have you had that job?
Close to a year.
10 months?
Something like that.
Where did you work before?
I was managing a medical spa.
Where?
Walnut Creek, California.
Okay. Have any family here?
Just my 2 children.
How old are they?
6 and 2.
They live with you?
Part-time.
Who do they live with the other part of the time?
Well, my son lives with, my daughter part-time lives with her paternal family.
Maternal or paternal?
Paternal.
Paternal. So the father's family, father's parents with her grandparents?
No, his brother and his family, they live very close by, about 10-minute drive from where I live, and she's there a lot because I work full-time.
Okay. So you had to get to work at the media startup company when you called him?
Correct.
Did you tell him that you were going to take care of paying his bail?
What happened was I told him that I didn't have any money.
No. When you called him on the phone from jail, you told him I don't have any money?
Correct.
Is that right?
No.
Of course not.
Right. I wouldn't.
Of course not, because if you tell you, please bail me out of jail, but I don't have any money, and he doesn't know you from a hole in the wall, he's not getting out of his warm bed in the middle of the night. Madam.
Well, he did.
No. He did. The question was, did you tell him that you didn't have any money?
Yes, I did.
He says you didn't, and I'm saying I believe him that at that time you didn't tell him I have no money. Because if he's in business and he gets a call from a stranger, you are a stranger, right?
Correct.
That I want you to get up out of bed, drive over to the jail and bail me out. But by the way, I have no money. He'd say, call somebody else.
That's exactly what I said.
All right. I don't believe you. Go ahead.
We discussed that she had a CD, and the CD was maturing within the next 30 days, and that there would be ample
That you would have money.
Correct. In the CD to pay me out of the proceeds of the CD. And she didn't want to cash it in early because she didn't want to pay the penalty. I agreed to those terms within 30 days that she would use the CD.
Was this on the telephone?
That was on the telephone.
Okay. Because you did ask her the question about money.
Correct.
And when you said, do you have money, what did she say?
I have a CD.
Okay. So, did you tell her how much the bail would be?
Correct. 10%, $5,000.
Because she had $50,000 bail?
Correct.
That's a high bail for domestic violence.
It is.
Do you know why it was so high?
That's per the schedule in that county. That's always $50,000 for a felony charge.
It was a felony.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
So we get her out. We memorialize our agreement in writing. She
Can I
signs
see it,
a
please?
bail contract and the agreement to pay.
Can I see it, please? Okay, so you signed an agreement to pay him the $5,000.
I had no choice. He made me sign it.
But
Madam,
listen to me very carefully, madam. You have a choice. Your choice is to stay in jail until the matter on which you were arrested for is tried. That's your choice. You chose...
had a different agreement.
No. This is your agreement. This in here is your agreement, in the four corners of this agreement. And what I asked you was, did you sign this agreement? And the answer is either yes or no, not
Yes,
I was forced to sign.
I did sign that agreement, but aside from that, there was an oral agreement that took place between me and Mr. McCollister.
I'll get to you in a minute.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Once the agreement's signed, I get her out of jail. She says, now what do? I live 30 minutes from here. I agreed to give her a ride. She's worried about getting to work, so I give her a ride. And it's about 30 minutes away. So during that time, she tells me the entire story about the arrest, and I attempt to be understanding that, you know, she was arrested, and I'm sorry, and that's a bad thing, and you're dealing with a breakup, and, you know, how she caught her boyfriend with his new girlfriend laying on the couch that she paid for or she picked out. And the entire time in the car,
Would you look at me when you're telling me this story, Mr. McAllister? Look at me. Don't look down there.
Sorry. The entire time in the car, she says, I'm not a stalker, I'm not a stalker. I go, okay, sorry, you're not a stalker. No problem. Okay, I'll get you to your vehicle. Well, the vehicle's parked 3 blocks away from the house where she was living or where she was arrested. So there's obviously something going on there. Anyway, I get her out, she signs the agreement, and she refuses to pay me.
No, just a second. When did she sign the agreement?
Immediately upon release from the county jail.
Okay. And then you drove her to her car.
Correct.
And you dropped her, and she never paid you.
Right. I made
When, for the
repeated-
first time, did you contact her with regard to payment?
Well, within 10 days, we sent her an invoice, just a reminder of the payment terms, and sent her 4 or 5 subsequent invoices that went answered with these rambling letters talking
Do you have
about...
a copy of the letters?
I do.
Can I see them, please?
Those are her letters to me and then my responses.
Based upon our discussion, these are your words, when he initially asked you for your money. Based upon our discussion, it was my understanding that we would discuss my opportunity to provide some type of service to you and your business in lieu of paying you $5,000 for a relatively risk-free, as you put it, bond. I am still awaiting the opportunity to make good on my offer to work for your company. As you were advised at the time the bond was posted, I have not, or do not have now, $5,000 fee that you are demanding. Given the above-mentioned discussions that we had at the time of the unsecured bond was posted, I now consider your correspondence demanding $5,000 to be intimidating and threatening. What, are you crazy? Please do not send me any more threatening letters. You knew my financial predicament at the time bail was posted. I still intend to honor my promise to perform professional services for you. You never promised to perform professional services for him. Your own letter says, it was my understanding that we would discuss my opportunity to provide some type of service to you or your business in lieu of paying for the bond. Given the above-mentioned discussions that we had at the time, I now consider your... Discussions aren't a contract, madam.
Let me tell you what happened.
Yeah,
Because he's not telling you the whole truth. What happened, he bails me out.
Are you, just a second, are you telling me the whole truth? Listen, are you telling me the whole truth?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
About your children's living arrangements, you're telling me the whole truth?
We're not talking about my children right now. I want to tell you.
You mean you're telling the truth?
About what
Listen to me.
happened.
You're telling the truth sometimes, and sometimes you can lie. And when am I supposed to tell the difference? You see, I knew that you were lying to me about your children's living situation. That you're not willing to discuss.
What do you lie about?
Listen to me. My question to you is, how am I supposed to tell when you're lying, and how am I supposed to tell when you're telling the truth?
I do tell the truth.
But you just lied to me today.
About what?
You lied about your children's living situation.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
How did I?
Oh, yes, you did. And you know you did. You know that they live with me part-time, they live with some part-time, they live here because I work. That's not the story. But that's a story you chose to tell me. Now, you told me that with the same veracity as you told me that you had another contract with him. And my question to you is, how am I supposed to tell when you're telling the truth and when you're lying?
What I'm saying is the truth.
Okay. Now I'm going to hear you, and then I'll tell you what the law is.
Okay. Well, he bails me out. He drives me to my vehicle. On the way to my vehicle, he makes comments about, and he says, well, it would be nice if a pretty woman like you worked for my company doing some sort of marketing and promoting my company, and maybe we can work something out in terms of paying for the bail bond that he posted on my behalf. So when he dropped me off by my vehicle, and before he left, he made me sign the agreement that you saw after we had the conversation of me potentially working for his company.
Did you get what you said to me, madam? You just said to me, maybe you could work for my company. Maybe you could work for my company. And that's not an agreement.
No,
that's not. No. After that, nothing. You took that, and I believe that you said that to her. Well, maybe you could work for my company and do something. Maybe you said it to her. Who cares? It's not relevant. There was no contract.
I said I couldn't work for him full time as he proposed.
So he said,
no,
madam.
We can work something out, and you can work for me on weekends.
Oh, listen to me. Listen to me. You're making it up as you're going along.
No.
Yes.
No, I have a letter.
Because according to what you said to me, after you had that discussion, after, not before. You see, he said you signed this at the jail.
No.
You say I signed it after I had the discussion with him about working with him part-time, weekends, etc. If that was true, that's not contained in this agreement.
No.
And I believe, madam, that you are one smart cookie. And if he had this conversation with you where you made a contract with him, a contract that's enforceable, to work off the bail bond by working for him part-time, you would have put it in this agreement because you're already out of jail. You see, you're already out. Because you're already bailed out. So then you could either say to him, I'm not signing this. Or you say, it's not the entire agreement that we have. But you didn't. You signed it and said, I promise to pay you $5,000.
Well, he told me right there that if you don't sign it, I'm just going to put you right back to jail. That's what he told me.
I don't believe you. You're making it up as you're going along.
No.
You're making it up as you're going along because if he said to you, you signed this or I'm going to take you back to jail.
That's what he said.
Your response would have been, well, then put in our agreement that I could work it off, right? Right?
I was very stressed.
Oh, listen, it's not the first time you were arrested. That's why I asked you the question before. It's not the first time. It's probably not the second time that you were arrested. So pay him his money. You owe him his money. Don't be a con artist. Judge him for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. That's all.
Danielle Hines says her former live-in boyfriend, Devin Kilpatrick, owes for rent and the return of property. Devin says he moved out after Danielle filed for a restraining order.
Matt, Ms. Hines, the defendant is your former boyfriend. You lived together. He's also the father of your child.
Yes.
You had a lease together. He moved out 4 months prior to the lease terminating.
Yes.
You took him to court for 2 months of the 4 months.
Yes.
Because the other 2 months hadn't passed yet. And you got a judgment against him for those 2 months.
Yes.
Now you want the last 2 months of the rent that he owes you. And you also claim that you had a lot of pain and suffering because he wasn't a nice guy.
Yes.
Well, forget pain and suffering. You don't get paid for pain and suffering. You terminate a relationship for pain and suffering. Do you understand?
Yes.
Good. So you want your rent.
Yes.
Mr. Kilpatrick has a very good excuse for not paying the rent for the last 2 months.
Yes, I do, ma'am.
He says that the reason he didn't pay rent for the last 2 months is because you filed a restraining order against him and his mother, and so he couldn't live in the apartment, and if he couldn't live in the apartment, then he wasn't going to pay rent.
Not
That's
true.
his defense.
Yes.
So, when did you move into the apartment?
We moved in March 14, 2006.
And you were both on the lease?
Yes, we were.
And when did you leave, sir?
I'm not exactly sure.
When did he leave?
November 9th, and they filed for the restraining order. He was
November 9th?
Yes.
2006.
Yes.
And when did you file a restraining order against him?
I filed November 2nd, but he was served November 14th at 5:55 a.m.
But you had filed it on November 2nd.
Yes.
I want to see the allegations that you put in the restraining order application. Thank you. You filed this on November the 2nd, and according to this, it says the most recent date of abuse was September 10th, 2006. And you say he strangled me to the point that I could not scream anymore. He also stated that he would only get a slap on the wrists.
If he did it again.
It would be something he would hit me because it was his first offense. And you filed this 2 months later. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Between September 10th and November the 2nd, when you went to the police to file for this restraining order, where were you living?
I was staying there, but he wasn't.
You were in the apartment?
Yes.
And he was not living there?
He was still living there, but he never came home. He was in and out. He would go to his mom's house. We were sleeping in separate bedrooms. I was sleeping in my daughter's room, and he was sleeping in our bedroom.
Fine. So then my question, 2 months later, what prompted you to go to the police?
I don't have transportation. Not only was I trying to get to the courthouse to file a restraining order on him, everything in between then, I was going to the police station. I was always talking to the police about what I can do about our child and him getting out of the apartment, but not necessarily him moving out because I still needed him to pay his half of the rent.
Just a second. You asked for, in your restraining order, a stay-away order asking that he may not be within 15 feet from you. How was he supposed to be within 15 feet from you if he was still living in the apartment?
Because at the time, whenever he would come home, he would go in his room, and I'll either be sleeping in the living room on the floor or in our bedroom.
Listen, did you want him out of the apartment or in the apartment?
I wanted him to stay because he was still on
Then
the
there was
lease.
no reason for you to file for a protective order.
I just
It's
didn't want him to
nonsense.
hit me again.
You said that the last time he put his hands on you was when he choked you 2 months before. That's what you swore to in here.
Yes.
So that there had to be a reason, 2 months later, that you went to the police. You managed to find your way to the police.
Yes.
And file this protective order.
I went to the courthouse to file that.
Listen, you're not being honest with me. He moved out. He had a right to move out. He would have been crazy to stay there. Absolutely insane to stay there with a protective order. When all you have to do is pick up the phone, call the police, they come, they arrest him. And all you have to do is say, he threatened me, and he finds himself in jail. So he would be insane to stay in the apartment.
May I please say something?
Sure.
It says right here that he was not even served. He didn't even know I had a restraining order on him until after. I'm telling you.
knew.
It doesn't make any difference whether he knew or not, madam. You knew.
Yes.
So how dare you come here knowing that you had the restraining order, that you didn't serve on him for another couple of days, but you knew you had it, and still want him to pay rent?
Because his name was still on the lease. I did not ask Devin to leave. They said 15 feet because his name was still on the lease. They could not kick him out. I had no choice. I didn't want him to put his hands on me again, Judge.
Good.
I was afraid. I didn't know what else to do.
I understand. You should have left. Should have left. But you can't go get a restraining order on him and say you have to stay in the house, despite the fact that I have a restraining order on you.
Okay.
So now you are like my prisoner. You look at me cross-eyed, I'm going to call the police. Whether he did anything bad to you in September or not, I don't know. Certainly you didn't go to the police in September. So he would be nuts to stay with you. And now you come to court and you say, I want him to pay the rent.
Yes, because...
When he did nothing to you in November, nothing to you in October, nothing to you 3 weeks in September. If I believe that you got into a fight and he put his hands on you in September, I'm not condoning that.
Okay.
And if you put him out right away, I would have said, okay.
Okay.
And if I believed that he choked you in September, I would have said, you're bad. You have to pay the rent.
Okay.
But when you wait 2 months, there's something else going on.
I tried.
Okay,
I
I'm
did
trying
everything-
to. Believe
No,
me,
Judge,
I'm trying.
I did everything I could to get to the police department. I went throughout the month of October to get information on what I could do because he's the father of my child. I was trying to ask for information about child custody and what I could do about everything.
I'm not talking about child custody.
I know
I'm talking
domestic violence.
I'm talking about a restraining order.
Okay.
Not child custody, not support, not anything else. Just about the fact that you were in abject fear of him and in need of a protective order that excluded him from the house. Because not to be within 15 feet of you is a ridiculous order against somebody that you expect to live in the apartment with you. Ridiculous. I'm telling you, you cannot live with somebody with a restraining order and expect them to stay in the apartment because of the way the laws are recognized now. All you have to do is call the police and say, he looked at me cross-eyed, I want him arrested. And then he's there on a violation of a protective order, which allows them to incarcerate him for up to 6 months by just looking at you cross-eyed.
But those were not my intentions.
Oh, listen, I don't care what your intentions were or not. The fact is you did have a restraining order against him, and he was perfectly right to leave because you didn't go and file that restraining order at the time you allege he hurt you. You waited 2 months. So there was some other agenda that you had, and I don't know what that was because you look at me, like you don't understand what I'm talking about. But then you were served with the restraining order and you came back into the apartment with your mother.
No, not my mother.
When?
Around, I guess, a week later.
After you were served?
Yeah, I came, I got all my stuff, and then that was it.
Not true.
You came and you got some of your stuff, included the refrigerator.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's what she's annoyed at because
I
the
had
refrigerator, she said, was given to both of you as a couple by your mother.
She didn't give it to us both as a couple.
I don't care. Yeah, she did at the time because you were both eating out of the refrigerator, I assume. But he's allowed to keep the refrigerator.
It was not a week later. It was the same day because I had to purchase a refrigerator the very same day. I have the receipt with the date.
But I don't understand what you want, and I don't understand what your pain and suffering is.
Because I almost had a miscarriage. I had to be taken out of school literally on November 29th. My doctor had to write me an excuse because I had to keep on being rushed to the hospital. And I have all the hospital papers stating that I had
You have a hospital paper that says it's his fault that you almost had a miscarriage?
Well, it was stress.
Of course it's stressful. Life is stressful, madam. Life is stressful.
Yes, it is.
Life is stressful. You don't want to be stressed until you're sure about somebody. You shouldn't get pregnant by them.
Actually, those were my intentions either.
Well, it's not your intentions. That what you do is you take care.
But I was on birth control. I have the papers proving that I was on birth control. You would like to see it?
Well, I suggest you sue the birth control company because it failed. Listen to me, Miss Hines. Are you living in the apartment now by yourself?
Yes. No.
Well, how are you supporting yourself?
I had money that was saved up, and I spent all that money on the rent.
How old are you?
I'm 20 and a half.
So why don't you go to your father or your mother's house? You're 20 years old and you have a baby. He should pay child support, but he's not going to support you. You're not his wife.
No,
He said he'll contribute to the support of his child. He absolutely should do that.
But he's
Are you
not.
paying child support?
No, not yet.
Why not?
She just, I don't know, she just filed it, I guess.
She doesn't have to file it. Did you see your baby?
Yeah.
Well,
No.
you have to take care of your baby.
I see him when I can. I work about 6 days a week, so I can't be there all the time.
Well, if you work 6 days a week, then what you should do is you should have enough money to help support him.
But he
And you don't
doesn't.
need a court order to tell you that, sir. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
I should see the money coming out of your wallet right now.
Please, for some diapers. I would like some diapers.
Listen
for
to
our
me. Don't
son.
talk to him.
Okay, I won't.
I should see money coming out of your wallet now. Did you hear what I said?
I heard you.
Get it out.
Don't have none in my wallet.
How could a man who works 6 days a week not have any money in their wallet?
I don't keep money in my wallet.
Where do you keep it?
In the bank.
Good. How much money do you have in the bank?
Don't know.
Well, I've got news for you, sir. When ultimately you're going to want to see this child, and the tape of this is going to be available for her, for whatever, you get no sympathy from me if a father needs a court order to tell him that he's supposed to pay child support. Court's not supposed to tell you that. And here is supposed to tell you that. Do you understand? So the support should be forthcoming. You don't have to pay anything for rent. Because she wanted to live alone, she filed for a protective order against you. And if that's the case, then she pays the rent. Got it?
Okay.
And if you don't want to pay the rent, go home to your mother. Or get a job and start supporting yourself.
I will.
Good. Perfect. Your case is dismissed. That's all.
Ashley McLeod says former friend Justin Lawler owes for late fees associated with a broken window on her rental car. Ashley says police officers were forced to break into the car after Justin passed out drunk.
Miss McLeod, you and the defendant were friends. It's my understanding that you wanted to take a little day road trip together. You needed a car, so you rented a car on your credit card.
Yes.
And you were going from someplace to San Diego?
Actually, we were going from Austin, Texas to South Padre Island. And Justin had told me that he had to be on the rental car agreement because I couldn't rent the car by myself because I was under 21.
Okay, but the car was leased with your credit card?
Yeah.
Okay, and he was driving?
Yes.
What time did you rent the car?
We had gone that Friday. It was sometime in the afternoon to rent the car. And then we were going to leave for South Padre shortly after we had rented the car.
And you did?
Yep.
Was he drinking?
When the incident occurred, he had been to a few bars. He'd had a few drinks.
Well, that would be a yes.
Yes.
To make a long story short, what happened was he took the car to go from one place to another. I don't know where you were going. But according to you, you pulled the car over and fell asleep, but fell into a dead sleep coma because the police came up to the car and they tried to wake you.
It was actually parked in a parking spot.
They tried to wake you, and they couldn't wake you from this deep coma sleep. They banged on the door, they rapped with their baton, and then they feared for your safety. Since the car was locked, they busted out the window of the car in order to ensure that you were safe.
Ashley McLeod says former friend Justin Lawler owes for late fees associated in her rental car. Ashley says police officers were forced to break into the car after Justin passed out drunk.
Now, the car had to be taken in to be fixed. You paid for the window, but it took time, and she was charged $500 extra on her credit card that she feels as if you're responsible for, because but for the fact that you fell asleep in the car, it wouldn't have happened. That's your case.
Yes.
Mr. Lawler has an interesting defense that we are all breathlessly waiting to hear.
Well, when we first rented the car, I actually told her to get the rental car insurance because that way, if anything did happen, we would not be liable for the damages done. And at that time, she said that she had insurance. It would be $100 cheaper. The guy rang it up with the insurance on it for the rental car. And then she said, well, no, it would be cheaper if we do it the other way. I didn't want to because I had rented a car before and know that if you get rental car insurance, it covers everything. So she insisted on putting her current insurance on there. And once we got down there, her mom, she talked to her, told her the insurance was on there. And then her mom said if anything happened to that car, that their insurance would get dropped. So the insurance didn't cover the actual damages done at all.
Can I say something? What?
No!
Oh, sorry.
I'm not finished with him yet.
Sorry.
So let me understand his defense. His defense is she should have taken out the insurance. That's your defense.
Yes, ma'am.
Sounds right to you?
Well, that sounds like what he said.
That sounds good. Why did you fall asleep in the car, Mr. Lawler?
Why did I fall asleep in the car?
Just a second. Is there an echo in here? I know that you think that it's going to give you an opportunity to think of a reason.
He wasn't sleeping. Sorry.
I'll get back to you. Why did you fall asleep in the car?
I had a couple drinks and I passed out in the car, and it was parked in a parking spot.
There you go.
I was not driving the car, though, that night.
All right, Mr. Lawler, let's dissect what you just said to me.
Okay.
You think that because you talk fast that I'm not going to be able to dissect what you said to me? Okay. So you had had a few drinks and you passed out in the car.
I pulled the car over. I didn't drink. Yes,
That's
ma'am.
what you just said. Had a few drinks. Now, where did you do this drinking?
In a couple hotel rooms.
Not in bars. You were in hotel rooms.
No, I was actually... Sorry.
Who were you in hotel rooms with?
Just different kids we were selling tickets for our Akon party that next day.
How many different hotel rooms had you been in drinking that night?
Just a couple, actually.
Same hotel?
Just different ones.
Different hotels?
Yes.
How did you get there from one to the other?
Drove the first...
I drove.
The first one, yes.
Just a minute. I drove. And how'd you get to the second one?
The second one?
Yes, the
My
second
friend took
one.
me to the second one in his
The
car.
second one. Your friend took you in his car, and you left your car where?
There's a condo that was parked at.
You didn't tell me you were in a condo, sir. You said you were in a hotel
Well,
room.
that's what South Potter has, condos and hotels. We just go to different ones.
You told me you were in a hotel room. Do you see where we're going, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Cameras pick up everything. So do my eyes. I have very, very bad vision when I have to read something without my glasses. Far away, I can tell a smirk and an I gotcha from a mile away. What do you do for a living?
I'm a promoter for a production company.
They're usually pretty glib and pretty light on their feet. Promoters. I've been promoting myself for 3 times as long as you're alive. You owe her for the car. And you're going to pay her for the car because it was your fault.
Even though the insurance...
Your fault! Nobody laid you down, pried open your mouth, and poured alcohol down your throat. Nobody told you to fall asleep in the car. Nobody told you not to tell your friend, would you please take me back to one of these condos where I'm supposed to be staying tonight? Nobody told you any of that. You were drunk. You drove a car drunk. You passed out in the car. Your fault. You pay for it.
The remaining charges that he owes me for is $541.63.
Did you pay for your half of the rental?
Yes.
Okay. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $541.63. Thank you very much. That's all.
Verna Rittenauer claims her estranged son-in-law, Brian Hill, owes for a loan and babysitting fees. Brian says Verna and her daughter are deadbeats.
Ms. Rittenauer, Mr. Hill is your soon-to-be ex-son-in-law, and it is your claim that he owes you for a small loan that you made to him to pay his mortgage and for some babysitting services for your 3 grandchildren.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Hill says that the mortgage payment was your idea. There was never any discussion of repayment for it, and he's going to tell me the story about the babysitting services. I want to start with you, Mr. Hill. How long have you been married?
Since 95.
And how old are your children?
10, 7, and 12.
How long have you been separated from your wife?
Since 05.
And how long have the children been living with you? You have custody?
Since 05.
Since 05?
Yes, ma'am.
Did your wife leave the house?
Yes.
Did she have somebody else?
At the time, no, I don't know. I don't think so.
But she left?
Yes.
And she left you with the children?
Well, when she originally left, she took the kids with her. The kids wasn't happy living with Miss Rittenauer here. The kids told Tina this many times. Tina told me over the phone that I could have custody. We went to court for the custody.
That's not true, Your Honor.
Just a second. Was custody adjudicated in court?
Yes. When we went
That's
to
all
court.
I have to hear. Custody was adjudicated in court?
Yes.
Did you and your wife make an agreement with regard to the custody of the children?
Yes.
So it was resolved between the two of you that you would have custody and she would have visitation?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you get child support for the children?
It's court ordered, but I haven't received the first check yet.
And how long has it been since you got child support from their mother?
I believe it was April or May of last year, 06.
Now, Ms. Rittenauer, when do you claim you made this loan to Mr. Hill with regard to the mortgage payment?
7th of 2006.
Tell me about it.
Mr. Hill was at my house stating that him and the children wanted to move back to his home because he was living with his mom, but he didn't have the money for the mortgage payment. I stated to Mr. Hill that I would lend it to him. He come back and said that he did not want any handouts and that he would pay me back. And I stated that he can make payments, and I haven't received a penny from Mr. Hill.
Your Honor, that's wrong.
Okay. Now tell me about the babysitting.
The babysitting, Mr. Hill asked me if I would watch the 3 children for him while he worked, that he would pay me. And I said, okay, $75 a week, and he okayed that. And I said, but he had to be home by 7 that evening. Well, Mr. Hill called me that Friday, because it was only a week that I watched him. That Friday, he called me, and he stated that he would be a few minutes late, that his sister was in a car accident. And I said, okay. This was at 5 p.m. I called him at 10:07 in the evening to ask him if he would be back by 8 to pick up the children. And he said, yes, Verna, I'm leaving now, and hung up on me. And so in the meantime, I was on the computer with the 2 granddaughters, and I received an IM through the computer, which was Mr. Hill's mom, saying all these harsh things to me. And then Mr. Hill came and blew the horn at 8 o'clock and picked up the children. And then when I got on my computer, I seen that I had 2 emails that Saturday, the day after, where Mr. Hill was apologizing for his mom. And I also have an email here stating that his mom wanted me to accept her apology as well.
So what does that have to do with anything?
Because Mr. Hill
What does that have to do with anything?
Mr. Hill should have called me and told me that he was going to be late and not call his mom and have his mom to IM me through the computer. It was between me and him, not me, him, and his mom.
He told me that he called you at 5 o'clock. He said his sister was in an automobile accident and he was going to be late. Didn't you just tell me that?
He said a little late.
So what? You're watching. You're with your 3 grandchildren. Do you work?
No, ma'am.
So what else do you have to do? If he said he had a family emergency, what's the big deal?
Because I watched him before, and he's never picked him up until 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night.
We're not talking about that. We're talking about one particular day. You watched the children for 1 week, according to you. Where do you think you are? You watched the children for 1 week. You said he was supposed to pick them up at 7. I assume the other days he picked them up at 7. Called you the last day, said, my sister was in an automobile accident. I'm going to be a little late. And he comes to pick the children up 1 hour late. And I'm asking you, you're the grandmother. What's the big deal?
The big deal is I watched him 4 months prior to that, and I never charged anything. And
you shouldn't charge anything.
And he was coming and picking the children up at 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night when it's a school night.
Then you shouldn't have volunteered to watch them again if it wasn't satisfactory arrangement. If it wasn't a satisfactory arrangement 4 months before, then you shouldn't have volunteered to watch them again. It would seem to me that if you are the mother of a deadbeat parent, which you are, because your daughter is a deadbeat, she has not sent support for her children since April of '06, that if your contribution could be helping to watch your grandchildren so that he can work and support them, you shouldn't be here today asking for $75 for babysitting services.
Well, how can my daughter be a deadbeat? She's paying child support for the grandchildren.
No,
she's also giving medical insurance for them.
He hasn't received child support from her since April of '06.
Because he keeps dropping it. It's like this. If she doesn't do what Mr. Hill wants her to do, then he'll go file it. If she does what he wants her to do, he'll drop it.
Listen to me, madam. A parent has an obligation to support children that they made. It is irrelevant to me whether it's a mother or a father. If the father has custody of the children and the mother has no children, then what she's got to do is work for it, because the children need to be supported.
I understand that, Your Honor.
Right.
And
so if I was the mother of a parent who did not pay child support and my contribution could be helping to babysit with my children, I wouldn't complain because the father was an hour late because of an emergency. Now, you want to tell me the story about the mortgage?
July of last year, I moved in with my mother because I was having problems paying bills. I moved down in there, had the kids enrolled in school. Everything was going well. Tina called me maybe 4 months after I moved down there, wanting to know if she could take over our house that we had purchased together. That's fine. If she was going to do it, that was fine. I gave Tina $1,000 cash, and the $1,000 was meant to be for the mortgage payment, the electric payment, and the ground rent where we live. She paid the ground rent and the electric. She never paid the mortgage, took off with the money. And then she calls me a week later and tells me she can't afford the house. Now the mortgage payment's never been paid.
That's not true.
Don't speak.
The mortgage payment was never made. Verna started calling me, asking me to move back. I have phone records of this, how many times she's called.
I'd like to see them.
They're all highlighted in yellow. Verna started
calling you at your mother's house?
On my cell phone,
yes.
Your
cell phone. Go ahead.
She called me wanting me to come back to move up there so she could be closer to the kids, because at this time I was like 150 miles away from her and her daughter. I told her, being I gave my wife Tina all this money, I didn't have money to move back. She agreed to pay the payment for me if I moved back so she could be closer to the kids and part a Christmas present, because it was November when we moved back.
Your Honor, that's not true.
You didn't want to see your grandchildren?
Your Honor, I do want to see my grandchildren. I haven't seen my grandchildren in 3 months for whatever reason. I don't know. I've seen...
You told me that you were watching them in May.
Well, it's been 2 months.
Oh,
1 or 2 months. I do know.
You told me you babysat for them in May.
1 week she did.
June 6th.
I only watched them for 1 week.
Well, that's not 2 months. 2 months haven't passed, madam.
Well,
I'm asking you, didn't you want to see your grandchildren?
Of course, I do want to see my grandchildren.
No, didn't you, when he was living 150 miles away?
Yes, I do want to.
So that if Mr. Hill says that when you spoke, you said that you would take care of the mortgage payment, are you telling me that you didn't have a discussion with him?
We did have a discussion about the mortgage payment. He told me he did not want any handouts, that he would pay it back. And I said, well, just make it in payments. And he said whatever was left, he would just pay it when he got his taxes back.
That's wrong, Your Honor.
It's wrong. I don't think I believe you, Miss Ridenour. I don't think I believe you at all. And what I find ludicrous is that you seem to have a reasonable relationship with your daughter because your daughter is here with you. And I assume that because she's here with you, you have a reasonable relationship with her. But you have 3 grandchildren. And why in the world would you want to antagonize over what amounts to no money? Certainly you're not out of pocket money with regard to the $75 for babysitting services. Worst thing that you did was you took care of your grandchildren for a couple of days. Big deal. So the worst thing that you're out is a few $100s for a mortgage payment that allowed the grandchildren to be closer to you and your daughter. You would antagonize the custodial parent of your 3 grandchildren. Antagonize him.
Your Honor, they even called Child Protective Services on me.
No, I most certainly did not.
One of them, too.
We did not.
Since I've moved back in November.
No, I most certainly did not.
Since I moved back in November, them 2 are the only ones that have been in my house. When I was moving back, I was carrying a dresser down my hallway. I tripped and my back hit the wall, which put a hole in the wall like about that big. Whoever called Child Protective Services told them that I was abusive, that I didn't have food in the house, that the kids were going to school dirty, there were the hole in the wall, stuff, you know, just made up a bunch of stuff about me. Well, Child Protective Services have a lady in my kids' school all day, every day.
That is not true, Your Honor.
This lady sees my kids all day, every day. The lady pulled the kids out of class, asking them a bunch of questions, if I ever hit them, if we have food. And the call went through to Child Protective Services on April 16th. April 12th is when we went to court for child support.
Gotcha.
That was the following Monday.
Gotcha.
Thursday, when we went to court on the 12th, that next day was Friday. That's the day she agreed she didn't want to watch kids no more.
Gotcha. Your case is dismissed, Mr. Rittenauer, and I would suggest you try very hard to make up with Mr. Hill so that you can see your grandchildren. That's all. Goodbye.
Child care provider Summer Oliver claims former employer Jamie DiMarino owes for unpaid wages. Jamie is accusing Summer of being a neglectful babysitter.
Miss Oliver, it is your claim that the defendant owes you some money for babysitting services, and the defendant says you've been paid. She's counterclaiming because she says because you were such an inefficient sitter, she lost money. When did you start babysitting for a child or children?
2 children. We had an interview on the 5th of January, and then she started the 8th of January.
And how did you find her?
My father had given me her number because she was running a local ad in one of the papers for daycare. So
how old are your children?
I have a son that will be 3 in a couple months, and my daughter just turned 6.
All right, January 8th is when she started, and what was the financial arrangement?
Anywhere from $150 to $170 a week.
Now, the first week that you babysat, did she pay you?
Yes.
And the second week?
Yes.
So we're talking about 1 full week of $150 that you claim she didn't pay you for.
The last week of her 2 weeks' notice.
What do you mean the last week of her 2 weeks' notice?
She gave 2 weeks' notice. She paid the first week, and she didn't pay the last week.
What days did she bring the children to you during that second week?
The last week, Monday, she brought both her children. Tuesday, she called me, and she said that she had been out drinking the night before, and she was hungover, so she would not be bringing her children Tuesday.
That's Tuesday?
Yes.
No, that's not true.
Wednesday, she brought both her children. Her little son had a terrible diaper rash, and he had diarrhea at my house that day. I called her to come pick her son up because he was ill. I actually had to take him upstairs and bathe him because he had defecated all over himself and all down my carpet.
Okay, go ahead.
The next day, Thursday, she brought him. He had defecated in his pants.
So he was soiled again?
Yes, he was.
What about her daughter?
Her daughter had diarrhea that morning, but she went to school.
Well, she's 6.
Yes.
Just a second. But she was there at your facility, at your home?
Yes.
The daughter until she went to school?
Correct.
Okay. And Friday?
Thursday, when she came to pick up her son, I called her and said, he cannot stay here. He is ill. I have got to put my other children in high chairs and fasten them in, and I have to take care of him. And it's dangerous. It's not respectful to my other kids or for me. And I said, you need to pick him up. And she became very angry, saying he was not ill, and she tried to pass it off.
Okay. Ms. DiMarino, why did you give your 2 weeks' notice?
It's because I noticed that the level of care wasn't necessarily where it needed to be. The week right before I gave my 2-week notice, my son had his hand slammed in the door. He was unable to use his hand for a couple of weeks. His fingernails, in turn, fell off. I was never notified. I was never called. The first time I found out about this was when I arrived at her house. Now, my children seem to like her. However, she did not work well for me. Sometimes my job demands that I stay later. I can unfortunately never count on her to do so. I realized I'd made a bad mistake, and my previous child care provider had been in Egypt on vacation for over a month, so I decided to go back. I gave her my 2-week notice.
When you gave her your 2-week notice, the first week your children went to her home?
Yes, ma'am.
Every day?
No, ma'am. She went to the funeral that week. That was complete oversight on my part, and I paid her for the full week.
Did you go to a funeral that week?
Yes, ma'am.
What day did you go to a funeral?
Tuesday.
Were you available to babysit?
I was not.
Were you paid?
I was. And everybody else paid the full.
I don't care what everybody else did. Everybody else is not suing.
Well, I gave her credit of $120. The 3 days I've added a $10 late fee as per our agreement that we had.
Just a second. It's not a late fee. There is a dispute as to whether or not you're entitled to be paid. So forget late fee.
Ma'am, she signed an agreement with me that she would pay a late fee.
Listen to me very carefully, which is why you are here. Do you understand? I want you to forget late fee. That's not happening.
She signed a contract that said that she would pay.
Listen to me.
Regardless if her children were ill.
I want you to pay careful attention to me. Anywhere in your contract does it say if you are unavailable to babysit, you get paid anyway?
No, ma'am.
So that some things are not covered by a contract. Is that right?
Right, but others
When
are.
there is a dispute as to whether or not you are entitled to payment, that falls outside the contract, just as the fact that you had a funeral to attend and you couldn't get anybody else to cover for you because your job is very personal in nature.
Correct.
So when you can't babysit for people whose jobs depend upon you doing your job, very often they lose their wages from their job. Correct? Do you understand? That's why sometimes contracts don't cover every eventuality. You are not entitled to be paid for the day you took off.
I'm not asking for that.
But you were paid.
That's why I gave her credit the next week.
But you were paid. Well, if you gave her credit the next week, let us assume that you're entitled to $150 for the week. That would mean that you are really only entitled to $120.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're suing her for $150. So now we're down to $120. Now, you explain to me why you don't feel as if your children went there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Yes, ma'am. They were not there Tuesday because I had some prior arrangements.
That has nothing to do with her.
Absolutely.
That has no use. You have to pay her for that.
I had every intention upon paying her. Had my son came back being said that he was sick, which is what I told Miss Oliver on Thursday when she called me and said, you are aware you do owe me $120. And if you do not pay me by Friday at midnight, I will start adding $10 late fee. I said, that's fine. You're entitled to do whatever you need to do. However, my son will be at the doctor's at 4:30 today. If he is given a clean bill of health, I will not pay you a dime. If it is said that he was sick, I will pay you. My son was taken to the doctor. He wasn't sick. There was nothing wrong with him. She's the only person.
Show me the doctor's letter.
Yes, ma'am. My doctor is semi-retired, so all I could get was their notes. He won't be back until Thursday. State of Virginia will not release the records to you.
Well, then that's not particularly helpful.
I know it's not. It's the best I could do because Dr. only comes in a couple times a month. However, I have a statement from my sitter.
I don't need a statement. I don't read statements from you. I don't read statements from your sitter.
She can't.
I don't read statements from your sitter.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You know, sometimes when a child has an upset stomach, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're sick.
Yes, ma'am.
But sometimes it does. And sometimes, if the daycare provider believes that the other children in her care are at risk,
yes, ma'am,
then the prudent thing for her to do is to say, listen, I don't want to risk the other children's health here. So, but there is no question that you owe her $120.
Even for the fact that I paid a separate daycare provider for that whole entire week, and she kept my children for 3 hours.
Listen. If for some reason you were unhappy,
I was.
You should have done what every reasonable parent does, which is not send your children at all. If you questioned her ability to care for your children. What?
According to her contract, I would have been liable.
Are you kidding me or what?
That's what it says.
No, are you kidding me or what? I mean, you're telling me that you question her ability to care for your children, but according to the contract, you'd be liable to pay for them anyway, so
I would, unless without 2 weeks. Yes, ma'am.
Let me ask you this question. You take your children to an amusement park.
Yes, ma'am.
And you buy your ticket.
Yes, ma'am.
And after you buy your ticket, somebody in the amusement park says to you, you know, I heard that yesterday 4 children were killed on that ride that you're going on. Now you got your ticket in your hand. What do? You
don't go.
You don't, just a second. You don't go. You take your ticket, you throw it in the garbage because you're a mother, and you say, I'm not taking any chances. I don't care if I lose the $1.50 or the $3 or the $6 on the ticket. I'm not risking my children on a ride that could be dangerous. So if you question the ability of a daycare provider to provide for your children, irrespective of whether you owe them the money, you don't take them.
Which is why they didn't come back.
Just as you don't take them. You don't say, I'm liable to pay. Hey, I'm liable to pay the money, which is why I sent them. Now, that's what you just said to me. You said you sent them because you were liable to pay
and
anyway.
There was no immediate danger, except for the fact that when she said there was something wrong with my son, nobody else observed this except for her.
Oh, I don't believe that that's true. Miss DiMarino, Miss DiMarino, I don't believe that she sent your son home with you and called you when she felt as if the child had an upset stomach, had a bad stomach. Could have been a virus, could not have been a virus, whatever. My sense is that she sent him home as much because it was a pain in the neck for her as anything else, because she says she had other children to take care of, and she was devoting all of her time to take care of your son and cleaning her carpet, which was irritating to her. Well, that's unfortunate. That's what you have to do when you take care of little babies. That's what you get paid for. In any event, you owe her $120. It was a bad experience. You got to pay her. Stop being a crybaby. If you didn't take your children there at all, and you said to me the last week, look, I felt my children were at risk at her house, and therefore I'm not taking them, and you didn't take them, I might have had a little sympathy for you. But you took them. I have zero. You owe her $120. That's all.
Thank you.
Your countersuit is dismissed. It's nonsense. Your countersuit for your lost wages when she couldn't take care of your child. It's nonsense.
It wasn't for that.
Yes, it was.
No, ma'am. It was for the fact of, it wasn't for when she couldn't take care of my children. My countersuit was for when I had to miss a whole day of work because it was President's Day. She forgot to inform me she would not be taking care of my children. It was President's Day. I showed up with my children in tow, and I missed a whole entire day of work.
Which day was that?
It was President's Day.
February 19th.
February 9th. Is that in your contract?
It is. I take off all state holidays.
Is it in the contract?
Yes, it is.
Show me. That's all. Just has to be in the contract.
That I take off all state holidays, and if she did not know what state holidays were...
Just show me. State holidays are observed, and I will generally not be providing care on those days.
Correct.
However, if needed, it can be arranged for an additional $40 a day.
She did not ask me to.
Just a second. Why?
Because those are the days my husband has off, and that's when we spend family time together. I do not take a vacation during the year like a lot of other daycare providers do.
Please ask for a list of state-observed holidays. Did you ask for that list?
I didn't need. I knew.
Did you ask for that list?
No, ma'am. I have a calendar.
So you know it was state holiday.
I did, and I thought I had arranged that
she did
day
not.
until I showed up and she answered the door in her pajamas 15 minutes later.
Just a second. What do you mean you thought you had arranged for her to take
Because
care?
I said I needed to work. I was aware that it was President's Day, so was she. I said I have to work on Monday. She answered the door in her pajamas and said, well, I'm not keeping any of my other children today, so I will not be keeping yours either.
Yeah, no, you don't got it. When did you arrange to have her babysit that day on the state holiday?
The prior week.
The prior week.
Yes,
did
ma'am.
She
did not.
No, she made that up. Just
no.
Counterclaims dismissed. That's nonsense.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Claudia Blanco says ex-boyfriend Rene Trujillo owes for illegally repossessing her car. Rene is countersuing, claiming Claudia's negligence ruined his credit.
Miss Blanco, Mr. Trujillo was your boyfriend.
Yes.
Your complaint alleges that he co-signed for a car for you.
Yes.
The car was titled in his name?
And mine.
But he was on the loan?
Yes.
You couldn't get credit?
Both of us were on the loan.
But you couldn't get credit yourself?
Yes.
You broke up. And the agreement, when he agreed to co-sign for you, from what I understand, was as follows. He would co-sign for you, and you would make regular payments on the car, timely, that you would maintain insurance on the car, that you would pay for his cell phone, maintain his cell phone. Anything else, sir?
Medical insurance.
And keep him on your medical insurance, pay for his medical insurance.
Yes.
That was in exchange for him obligating himself on the car loan. You broke up. According to Mr. Trujillo, you were late in many of your car payments, which damaged his credit.
Yes.
In addition, although he doesn't say it, you do, you canceled his cell phone and canceled his medical insurance.
In January of '07, yes. this year.
Whatever. You canceled his medical insurance. There was no time limit on this contract.
It wasn't really an agreement that I was going to pay his cell phone insurance. It was more of a blackmail, and I have emails to prove that.
What do you mean? Just a sec. I'll see you in a second. But it's my understanding, even from you, in your complaint, that we came to an agreement, this is what you swore to, that he would co-sign my car for me, and I would pay for his cell phone plan along with adding him to my medical insurance. That's what you say.
Yes.
So you canceled his cell phone and you canceled his medical insurance. You fell behind in your car payments, and he repossessed the car and turned it back in. Is that what you did with it, or are you driving it?
I currently have the car.
You currently have the car, and you've made up the car payments.
Right, I write it up to date.
You want all the money that you put into the car.
Not necessarily all the money, the down payment that I put into and the payments, some of the payments that I did, and for insurance and the cell phone bill that I did remove them from it, but it wasn't really an agreement. And I have emails that show that it was more of, if I take them off, that the car deal would be done and deal with.
Well, that's true. You know, you don't understand, Ms. Blanco. If you made that agreement with him when he co-signed for the car for you, which is what you say in your complaint, and you subsequently break up. So you get the dates. When did you break up?
In September of '06.
And when was the car purchased?
July 22nd of '06.
And when did you take him off the cell phone?
The cell phone, I took him off in this February of '07.
And when did you cut him off of your health insurance?
They didn't cancel that until August 31st of this year, after he took the vehicle and everything.
When did you cancel him from the health insurance? Not when they took him off. When did you cancel him?
When I told him June of this year.
June?
Of '07.
And he repossessed the car?
June 10th.
Which he lied about repoing the car. He did not tell me anything.
He doesn't have to tell you anything. How many times were you late on car payments?
4 times. But I have proof from VW that I called them, everything, we stayed in touch.
I don't care whether you stayed in touch. What does that mean, Ms. Blanco, that you stayed in touch?
Because they cut my hours from work. It was very unexpected. On March 10th, we had a meeting and they told us, hey, we're cutting hours by Monday. I went from working 40-plus hours to 32 hours. There was no way I could come up with the money. I was trying my hardest to get a second job, and Renee knew about this. He knew that I was trying to get a second job. I kept in touch with him. I only paid $110 this time.
Ms.
We're going to do it.
Blanco, you have to be a grown-up, sweetheart.
Listen
to me. You can't visit your problems on him. The fact that you were working with Volkswagen and they don't want your old car back, they want to work with you as long as they're going to get their money, right? That's one thing. That doesn't mean it's not reported to his credit as the co-signer. The fact that you lost hours impacted on him.
He
you
knew
understand that.
I understand
That's his
that.
complaint, because he has a counterclaim. He says you ruined his credit because for 4 times, and I don't care if it was 4 times or 3 times or 2 times, if you don't make your car payment on time, the people who were responsible on that loan are going to be penalized. That was him. He has an absolute right to repossess the car for that alone. In addition to the fact that you had a contract with him, a verbal contract, he would obligate himself on the car if you would maintain him on his cell phone and your insurance. Well, after a while, you're not his girlfriend anymore. You say, I'm going to cancel that cell phone. I don't want to pay for a cell phone where he's calling other people, and I don't want to pay for his health insurance anymore. I'm canceling it.
It wasn't out of a malicious act to remove him.
It doesn't have to be malicious. That was your contract with him.
But it wasn't a contract.
Yes, it was. That's what you say. You said it was an agreement. We came to an agreement that he would co-sign my car for me and I would pay for his cell phone along with adding him to my health insurance. You want me to see what you signed?
I know. I circled that agreement part. It wasn't...
That's what you signed.
I know.
That's what you swore to.
It wasn't an
That's what you said happened. That's what he says happened. He may not want to revisit that now.
Your Honor, there's an email here that shows the only reason I kept that going was because
she doesn't understand that the email is going to support exactly what I said.
I know.
Yeah, he says to you, you keep me on your insurance and your cell phone plan, and we'll keep the same car deal. That's what he says.
But it wasn't the car deal. The reason why it says car deal is because when we first signed up for the car, we signed up on July 22nd. A couple days after that, the guy that we did the car loan with called us in and said, hey, we have a better interest rate for you. If you come in, we could redo the contract. So I got sick a couple days after that.
so we couldn't go right away. I had surgery, everything was fine. We went back and redid the contract, but before we redid the contract, we got into an argument, and I said, you know what, we have to take this out of my name, or out of your name, put it into my own name, now that, you know, this is not how it's supposed to be. And in that email it says, or...
Ms. Blanco, was the car in both your names?
Yes.
Was the loan in both your names?
Yes.
Do you have proof, sir, that your credit score went from one thing to another?
I do.
Can I see it, please?
Sure. This is the before and the after with the credit scores highlighted.
I have the proof of, or not proof, but when we first co-signed the car, they did a credit check on us, and I have the credit score that they gave us on his and
Not
mine.
us, him.
Mine. Both of ours.
Just his.
Oh, you want
What
his?
was his?
His was 776.
Now it's 630. Now it's 630, based upon your 4 late payments. Now, is this a new car?
Yes.
You know, when you walk out of the showroom, the car is diminished by 20%?
Yes.
So he had to take over a car that was now worth 20% less because you ruined his credit, in addition to cutting off his cell phone and insurance. Forget that. So you don't get anything for that, Ms. Blanco? Nothing.
This it wasn't an agreement. I know that says in its agreement, but when we were signing it upstairs, I circled it and said it wasn't really an agreement.
Whether it was or it was not, you cannot ruin the co-signatory's credit rating because you had a problem with your job. That's not his problem.
He knew that, and we were trying. We both wanted to make payments on it, but they didn't take credit card. And I tried my hardest to get a second job.
Crying. Did you buy a new car?
No, I have not.
Why not?
I'm saving up for it.
Good. That's what you should have done.
Payments.
That's what you should have done.
And that's what we wanted to do, and I wanted to do, and I have proof that I tried my hardest to get my car to pass MOG so that I didn't have to get a new car. Chucky was also there as when I was searching for a new car. I did not want payments whatsoever, and he convinced me to get a new car and get payments.
You are a very strong young lady, and you don't seem to me like somebody who's shy. You got into difficulty. He had a right to take back the car.
Not the way he did, though.
Listen.
I was at work, Your Honor.
I'm not saying he was Prince Charming. He had a right to take back the car.
But I was at work, Your Honor, when he came, and I had lunch with my boss, and he just took the car. He did not warn me. After lying about having the spare key.
I'm not the moral police, Ms. Blanco. I'm here to decide a legal issue. The legal issue is, did he have the right to take the car? Absolutely. Did he have the right to sell the car? Absolutely. Does he have the right to keep the car and make the payments? Absolutely. That is his prerogative. Because you ruined his credit. You have no right to do that. You have to be a big grown-up girl and not say, because I lost my job, I had surgery, I had other things that happened to me, and I this and I have that. It's not my fault. He took the car the way I was having lunch with my boss. He didn't give me notice. You breached the contract to make the payments in a timely manner. May not have been of your own volition. It may have been because, I don't know, the sky was falling and henny penny and whatever other reason it was, but that can't impact on him. He's not your boyfriend anymore. He's not your boyfriend, he's not your father, he's not your brother, he has no moral obligation to you whatsoever. Now, you're driving the car, sir?
No, it's currently garaged at my mother's house.
Why?
Because I have nowhere to put it at. I go to San Francisco State, and I have no
Well,
garage.
who's going to drive the car?
My mom's driving it right now.
Oh, your mom's driving it. Good. So you have a nice car, right?
Right.
Good. So what are you complaining about?
By the time I sell the car to my supervisor here, I won't have lost $5,000.
Well, you should have sold it to Hasuna.
She doesn't have. She's going to apply for a loan.
You should have sold it to Hasuna. That's not her problem. That's your problem.
Okay.
You took back the car. Car is in good running order.
Yes.
And now you're paying for it, and you're going to sell it to somebody else.
To her.
And right now your mother's driving it.
Right.
Very nice. Your counterclaim's dismissed.
Okay.
So is your claim. You're not entitled to any money back. That's all. Thank you. Thank you.
Deborah Weatherford and her 14-year-old son, Trevor, are suing Trevor's former friend, 16-year-old Justin Townsend, during a slumber party.
You're his mother?
Yes, ma'am.
Sit down. You're his sister. You can stay seated. No, you... Right there. According to the complaints that I read, each of you, through your parents or guardian, suggests that the other assaulted him at a sleepover party you were having at somebody's house. Both of you claimed that you were injured?
Yes, ma'am.
And since the parents weren't there and the sister wasn't there, you're going to stand up on your own and tell me when this was and what happened.
Yes, ma'am.
I would suggest to you, if you think about lying, turn around and leave. If you think about stretching the truth, it will be a very unfortunate day for you. So I expect to hear from you nothing but the...
Truth.
Correct. What's your first name?
Trevor.
And yours?
Justin.
How long had you been friends?
A few years.
And tell me when this incident happened, where were you, Trevor?
I was at my friend Austin's house.
How many people were there?
About 6.
Remember the date?
No, ma'am.
Do you remember the date?
No, ma'am.
Do you remember the month?
No.
I'm honestly not sure.
Did you have medical bills?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, if you had bills, then I bet you your mother remembers what date this happened. What date?
September 5th, 2007.
Where were Mr. Austin's parents?
They were back in their room.
And there was 6 people sleeping over?
Yes, ma'am. We were in the living room. We were all playing around. We were having a pillow fight, just playing around. And I decided I wanted to stop, so I sat down and was watching TV, and I was hitting the back of the head with the pillow, like, really hard. And I turned around and asked my friend who did it, and he said Justin. I assumed Justin Townsend.
You assumed it was him?
Yes,
You
ma'am.
didn't see him, did you? But somebody else said Justin. How many Justins were there?
2.
So you went over to this Justin, and what did you do?
I hit him with the pillow.
You hit him. What was he doing when you hit him?
He was sitting down.
So he wasn't doing anything?
No, ma'am.
Did you hit him in the face or in the back?
I wasn't paying attention where I hit him. I just hit him with the pillow.
Did you hit him because you were angry?
Yes, ma'am.
So I assume you hit him as hard as you could.
Yes, ma'am.
Then what happened?
I turned around to walk off. I heard him say something, so I turned back around and I was hit in the face.
By whom?
By him.
And?
I was hit in the face and knocked back on my back. I got back up and went into the kitchen, and I saw blood, so I went back in there and grabbed a lamp and hit him with the lamp.
And?
After I hit him with the lamp, I walked back into the kitchen. He walked after me and asked me if I wanted to even out the other eye, and I grabbed a knife and told him if he came any closer, I would cut him, which
Yeah?
I understand was the wrong thing to do. And
The whole thing was the wrong thing for you to do.
yes,
You hit him first.
yes, ma'am.
Don't you get that?
Well,
What do you mean, well?
He was under the impression that it was Justin
I
Townsend.
don't care what he was under the impression that it was Justin who hit him. It wasn't. Right?
No, ma'am.
So you made a mistake. You picked the wrong Justin.
Yes, ma'am.
And you hit him as hard as you could.
Yes, ma'am.
Because you were angry. And he got up and he hit you back.
Yes, ma'am.
And he gave you a black eye.
Yes, ma'am.
So you went into the kitchen, saw you were bleeding, came out, picked up a lamp, an object. So far you've been playing with feathers and fists. So you pick up a lamp and you hit him in the head. And then you went and got a knife. What is wrong with you?
Nothing's wrong with me.
I mean, why would you sue him? Your son did absolutely the wrong thing. Now you can stand up next to him. Your son, you can stand up next to your brother. Your son did absolutely the wrong thing.
Well, according to what the witnesses at the party told me.
Don't tell me what the witnesses told you, madam. That's hearsay.
Okay.
That's
well,
what your son says.
Okay.
Your son was there, not somebody that I can't question because they're not here.
Okay. Well, then
your
I
son
won't-
gave me the whole scenario. His words.
He did, and he hit Justin with a pillow, and Justin turned around and hit him with on a chair, jumped and punched him in the face.
So what? Out of nowhere, for no reason, your son came up and, according to him, using all of his strength, because he was angry, hit him. For no reason. And he got punched back. And then your son went and got an instrument, a lamp, and hit him with the lamp.
Yes, ma'am.
And then he went and got a knife.
To defend himself, yes.
What do you mean to defend himself?
Because he had threatened that he was going to come back and punch even out his other eye. He didn't want any furthermore.
He hit him with a lamp.
Correct.
Mr. Townsend hit him one time in retaliation for him being hit. Your son hit him once with a pillow, hit him twice using a lamp, and then picked up a knife. You're lucky he wasn't arrested. So your complaint is dismissed. Now, were you injured?
Just slightly. I had a bruise from where he hit me with the lamp.
Where did he hit you with the lamp?
Hit me in my ribs in this area.
You owe him an apology. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Say, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I forgive you.
Is that sufficient?
Yes, ma'am.
Made a mistake, Mrs. Weatherford. Your son was the aggressor.
I didn't feel
Aggressors
that way.
sometimes get the worst of a fight. In this case, your son was very lucky. All he ended up with is a black eye. If he would have used the knife or used the lamp in a different place, it could have been a lot worse for him.
Ma'am, he ended up with a lot more than a black eye.
How many times did he get hit?
He got hit once, but he got hit very hard, and it wasn't with a pillow.
No, he got hit with a fist.
Yes, he did.
That's what he deserved.
I don't feel that.
Well, that's too bad what you feel. I'm telling you, legally, your son had no right because he picked the wrong Justin to hit him. He didn't inquire sufficiently.
That's your opinion.
No, that's the law.
Okay.
And if you want to continue to defend him, this isn't the last time you're going to be in court with him. You better learn to say, you made a mistake, dear. You're a big boy. How old are you?
14, ma'am.
14. And how tall are you?
6
6 feet.
Yeah.
Right? Still growing. So you have to teach a child who's 14 years old. How much do you weigh?
220.
Who's 6 feet tall and weighs 220 pounds, that if he hits somebody, slams them with all of his might with a pillow, he can hurt them. Can knock out an eye, break something. Fortunately, that didn't happen. But when somebody who is, how much do you weigh?
120.
Who weighs 100 pounds less, punches him back and happens to connect, that's part of the risk. So you better teach him. Because right now, you're not teaching him anything. You're still making excuses for his behavior. Your case is dismissed.
Thank you.
You got an apology?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Good, that's all.
Michael Prince claims neighbor John Miles moved his vehicle without permission and damaged it.
Mr. Prince, you and the defendant are neighbors and share some sort of a common driveway.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is your claim that the defendant negligently moved a car that you had in the driveway and damaged it?
Yes, he did, Your Honor.
Mr. Miles acknowledges that he moved the car.
I did.
How long have you been neighbors?
I've been there 12 years, Your Honor. And
How long have you been there?
14.
What I would like you to do is to show me this common driveway that the two of you share. Could you do that for me, please, Mr. Miles?
This is a four-family home I own on Eastern Avenue in Schenectady. This is my driveway here with a tenant parking area behind the home. The Billis driveway is parallel to my driveway, and they have a little parking area besides ours. It's not a shared driveway, but it's a common driveway.
And there's no space in between?
No, the concrete abuts each other.
Now, Mr. Prince, it's my understanding that something happened with your car. It had been, I don't know, stolen, burglarized, I don't know what happened with it. And you had it towed, and you left it on the driveway.
Yes.
How long did you leave it there?
It's been over a year.
Would you go over and show me where you left your car parked?
Sure. Here's the split driveway, and it's right on our property, right where our parking area is.
Show me.
Right about right here.
Now you can step back. Now I'd like you to show me, Mr. Miles, where you say his car was parked for over a year.
This car was parked right here on our side of the driveway.
So, according to you, when he had the car towed there for a year, it was parked on your side of the driveway.
Yes.
Now, were you ever contacted by Mr. Miles to ask you to move the car?
No, I haven't.
Is that right?
No.
Could you move over?
We spoke often when I came over to the house to do maintenance or work around the apartment house that he was in the process of getting the car repaired. It was my understanding that he was going to have insurance money from the car theft to have the car fixed.
Who told you that?
Mr. Prince.
There was no other way you could have found that out.
No.
So you don't live in this.
No, it's an investment property.
It's an investment property. You have tenants.
I
receive any complaints from your tenants during that year?
I did.
You have any of those here with you?
No.
Okay. How many times did you, when you went back to check out your property, tell Mr. Prince that you wanted him to get rid of that car that was...
We spoke often the first year. It was probably on a weekly basis for the first 6 months that the car was there, that the car was going to be moved and before winter. And the car wasn't moved on the winter of 06, 07, and I ended up plowing around it. It was terrible to just have the tenants go around it because one of my...
Why didn't you just call and have it towed?
Because it's on private property. I went through the town to have the code enforcement officer try to do it.
You mean it's on private property where each of you has an easement?
It's kind of a gray area because it's just being neighborly. I didn't want to make a big deal out of it. But once my tenant started complaining to me, and then with the snow removal...
Yeah, okay, go ahead, sir.
Your Honor, I have a videotape of right where he had a surveyor come over to the property and surveyed our property, and then he marked it off with tape. Then he marked the line coming down the driveway. And then also that when he had the surveyor mark the property line, it took away from him, not from us, because our double lot is coming from our house, our lot, towards the parking area. His double lot starts from the split driveway towards his house. I have it right here on video.
I'd like to see it. You mean before he moved it?
Yes, I got before and after.
Before he moved it. I'd like to see
I have
it.
pictures too also.
Just to say, I'd like to see them.
My father's car is parked right exactly where my car is parked right now, which my car is the white Lexus. And I will show you, we came home and our car was moved.
Here's the dent on it. Show them the ground, indentation.
And
just a second.
Here's the indentation.
Wait. I'm not following something, sir. Are you telling me this picture was taken before he moved the car or after he moved the car?
Oh, no, I know what you say. You say before it was moved. No, I took it after.
Before it was moved,
I took the videotape. I'm sorry.
Before it was moved. Do you have a videotape of your car sitting on the property before it was moved?
No, I had the videotape.
Then I'm not interested in seeing this video.
Okay.
And I'm not interested in seeing your pictures.
Okay.
There's only one issue, and that issue is whether your car was in any way encroaching on his part of the driveway 2 inches. If it was, you're lucky he waited a year to move your car. I wouldn't have waited 2 days.
I understand.
To move your car. It's an annoyance to have to go around your car for his tenants. If he lived there, he wouldn't have waited, but he had tenants there, and they probably figured, what am I going to do? You know, I have to go around this car. So they go around it. You following me, sir?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
He had every right to move your car.
Oh, sure. He had every right, Your Honor, and that's why, if that was true, he would have had a police tow it and towed it. But legally, it was on my property. That's why he didn't have anything done, and he never came to me. We wasn't talking on a weekly basis.
Why didn't you get the car off that property, sir?
Your Honor, I was going to school full-time and working part-time, and I didn't have it was on private property. It's on our property.
Mr. Prince, let me explain something to you. I'm seeing where your property is. There isn't a question in my mind that if your car was parked all the way in your backyard, having nothing to do with the defendant, he would not have moved your car. Why would he not have moved your car? Because he wouldn't have said to himself, I'm going to get a tow truck. I'm going to go to the expense of moving the car. If the car is in your backyard, why in the world, Mr. Prince, would this gentleman, who seems like a perfectly normal man, go to the trouble of moving a car from your backyard, which, as far as I'm concerned, as a neighbor, what you do is, if you want to leave an eyesore, a car that's not capable of being driven for a year, you put it someplace where it's not going to... Because if it was in a place where it didn't bother anybody, Mr. Prince, he wouldn't have moved it.
So, Your Honor, the property, our property where I had my car on is where I...
What I just said to you, sir, I have to make a judgment.
I understand that.
I have to make a judgment. Listen, put on your listening ears. Whether a normal man, because I don't have any proof that it was on your property or his property. Put your hand down.
Sorry.
I don't have any proof. You say it was on solely your property all the way in the corner. He said it was not on your property all the way over in the corner where you have pointed it out to me. So I have to say to myself, let's resort to common sense. Would a businessman, because this is a business property, take time out from his day to rent a piece of equipment, to tow a car, to move it someplace away, if the car was already in a place where it wasn't bothering anybody, where it was in your backyard and not inconveniencing any of his tenants? So what I'm saying is, I find that, yeah, I can imagine as a neighbor with a common driveway, with you taking a car and leaving it there for 12 or 14 months until you got around to having it fixed, and you figured, listen, he's not even there. The only people that are there are tenants. And so ultimately, he got annoyed because his tenants were annoying him. Listen, this car, I have to go around it every time I have to go into the driveway to park my car. Listen, Mr. Prince, I don't believe, sir, that your car was parked in the backyard where you say it was.
Yeah.
And that's what I have to and that's what I have to determine, whether your car was parked in the backyard, not annoying anybody.
Can I say one thing, Your Honor?
Yeah.
I listen, I got my hearing on, and I'm listening to you. Okay, now, what are you saying is that he don't have time to call a tow truck because he's a busy man, but he has time to wrap a chain or pulley onto my vehicle, wrap it around a tree, and drag it.
Listen to me, sir. It is very possible that if he called for a tow truck, they would have said to him, because this is a shared common driveway, we are not permitted to move that car.
So why he didn't come to me? We always communicated.
Mr. Prince, I believe that he communicated with you and you ignored him. Your case, sir, is dismissed. That's all.